listening to the Lucha Central Podcast Network. And now, LuchaCentral.com presents Masks, Mats, and Mayhem.
Rotator blade.
Oh no, it sounded like the worst fart imaginable.
Welcome to another edition of Masks, Mats, and Mayhem. I'm your host, the Outlaw LA Red, or sometimes known as Jason, apparently. Jason. You can find me on social media at JustinHarvey75. You can find the entire show on social media at MMMshow 75. And I'll tell you later why Jason. It's not a Halloween thing. Speaking of which, wrestling. Who gives a fuck about wrestling? We talk about wrestling all the goddamn time. So I'm going to start this show. I want something from each of you gentlemen. I want 2 horror movies that people need to go and watch this October. We're in the Halloween month. Byron is inundated with like 10,000 horror movies he's trying to watch. I know he's completely confused. That's why I want to hit him off guard, and he can only pick 2. Pick 2, Byron. Pick 2. What are the 2 you have to see?
And don't pick mine, you motherfucker.
Okay, so first of all, you have to watch
Halloween, H2O, and Insidious.
Yeah. H2O director's cut. First you should watch The Bates Haunting on Tubi TV. That's a fun movie. It's really good, and you'll be happy that you watched it. The second one, it's hard. It's hard because I just, for the last year, I was telling people to watch like Pieces because the opening of it is so amazing, and just the idea that there's just so much absurdity to it. It's like
sneaking up on people with a chainsaw running.
He cuts people with a chainsaw. That's awesome. His gimmick is he cuts people into pieces because his mom was a dick and smashed his puzzle into pieces. And there was at one point an investigation at a pool where there are dismembered body parts, and a detective went up to a professor. I'm not sure what study the professor was a part of, but we lost him. And this detective who's investigating a crime scene asked the professor, hey, in your expert opinion, do you think a chainsaw could have cut those body parts apart? And the professor's like, yeah, I think it looks like that's what could have happened. And I laugh every time I think about that. So I would watch Pieces. I would watch The Bates Haunting, and pretty much any horror movie that's on YouTube right now.
Pieces might be on Shudder. I know it was, and I know Joe Bob did a commentary for it, but that might be one of the ones that's gone. So don't hold me to it, but I think that might be on the Shudder service, which all of you should be subscribing to in the month of October if you want to watch good horror movies.
Yeah, get Shudder. I swore I watched it on YouTube, but that might have been Blood Rage.
Blood Rage! Oh my god!
I got that shit on Blu-ray, but I can't recommend that for this month because that's a Thanksgiving movie. That's the best Thanksgiving movie.
That's not cranberry sauce.
Yeah, it's not cranberry sauce. Move over Planes, Trains, and Automobiles because Blood Rage is the king of Thanksgiving movies. But my 2, if I had to give you just 2, one would be one that is available on YouTube, which is Trick or Treat from 1986. No, this is the one with the little kid named Sam. This is the one with the heavy metal master, Sammy Kerr, Rock's chosen warrior, who dies in a fire and can be resurrected by playing his albums backwards. And he uses his magical powers to torment Skippy from Family Ties. And you see his D&Bs kind of in the movie. I'm surprised it's on YouTube. You see Skippy's little Skippy. Movie's great. Probably one of the better Halloween movies that I can recommend that most of you guys probably haven't seen. Because I could just give you shit that you guys have all seen, but what's the fun in that, right? And
I'll not watch either of that too.
Yeah. Meef's gonna tell you to watch the Scream series probably.
Oh, can I throw in my what's the like it didn't win an award, but you just wanted to give it a pat on the back award? Participation.
We call that the Velasco Award.
I want to give the Velasco Award to Tucker and Dale. That I have to.
Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Solid 3 out of 5 there, me, for your suggestion. The other one I would like to suggest to you is not a Halloween movie, and a lot of you may have seen it, but you should all watch Return of the Living Dead because it's a perfect horror movie and one of the greatest movies ever made, and it has the perfect tone for this time of year. It'll make you want to party in a cemetery and then get eaten by zombies. Because what better way is there to go? What better way is there to go, Justin, than be eaten alive by zombies?
I don't know.
And I would yell choke on him like the dude from Day of the Dead, another great movie. But I've already named my 2, Justin, so go right ahead, sir.
All right, so I would say I got to go with one that we've talked to Paul London about that's an absolute favorite of mine that I haven't seen in a while, which is Hellraiser 2. Just, because I like sci-fi stuff, and it's got weird kind of sci-fi backstory folklore element
available
that
on Shudder for you right now.
Shudder, yes,
including a Joe Bob version that has Doug Bradley and Ashley Lawrence in studio talking about it.
And another one that you can see completely free on Tubi right now, which is an all-time classic that has been restored by the Museum of Modern Art, is Basket Case. Gotta see Basket Case. Absolute classic with Bilal, this little monster, and these 2 conjoined twins that were separated at birth, except one's a little mutant thing. It's kind of like It's Alive, except really stupid. It's amazing.
We're kind of loading our fans up with mail.
Joe Bob
on all of these
as well.
Yeah.
And I think what was the other one I was going to throw out? That I don't even remember. But anyway, those two I think are the 2 that I think people have to go and see. And a lot of people haven't seen Basket Case, so I think that's a fun one. Add to your, if you like the campy kind of fun weird stuff, that's a good one.
Meath, how about you, buddy?
Well, so one of them was definitely Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things. For me, does Cue the Winged Serpent class into there yet? It's a weird middle of horror kind of. Yeah. Because Cue the Winged Serpent's like my favorite film of all time. I wore the cassette out on that, and I actually have a brand new, old but brand new cassette. But also,
by cassette, you mean VHS?
Yes.
Yes.
Is that what they call them in England?
Yes. Oh God. Oh, I had to show a kid a picture of a VHS because they didn't understand what it was.
What the fuck?
What a VHS was. This literally happened.
Call them from a phone booth and explain it to them because they won't know what that is either.
I got 2 things. One's a follow up to Meath that Cue the Winged Serpent is done by the great Larry Cohen. There is an awesome documentary called King Cohen on Shudder.
Yes.
You should check it out if you haven't seen the whole documentary already. It's really, really good. The next thing is this segment has been brought to you by another miserable podcast, my podcast, where not only do we give you horror suggestions every fucking episode, we do commentary for stuff. Don't listen to the latest one. It's Halloween H2O. That movie fucking sucks.
Oh, no, go listen to it just because it makes Casey's skin crawl when people listen to it.
So my other one was definitely Soft for Digging, which is a random film, if you haven't seen it.
I have never seen that, Meath. Please tell me about it. I thought Cue the Winged Serpent was your second movie. I'm sorry.
No. That was the one that I was questioning. No, Soft for Digging is like this old dude who lives in the middle of fucking nowhere. Peace. Oh, okay. And like, it goes on. The entire world around him has got noise. So there's noise of birds and people talk to him. He doesn't talk. There's literally no dialogue really for 120 minutes. But like, it's got this weird, creepy storyline where he goes into the woods, and there's like a girl being choked, and then like he tries to find a body and stuff, and it leads him to an asylum for children, where they've been doing horrible stuff to kids. But it's like a really, really.
You guys, you guys got to see this. Okay, if you do a search for Soft for Digging. Okay, go to the image searches, scroll down to the 3rd line. Why is Byron reviewing this movie? Look at that picture. Dude, scroll down 3 lines on Google image search.
I got to do this now. This is too much fun. Oh, Soft for Digging, eh?
Yeah.
It's one of those films that I watched at 3 a.m. and was totally engrossed by it. A bit like Tetsuya, Iron Man.
Oh, Tetsuya, the Iron Man is available on Shudder. Soft for Digging.
If he's got a drill for a dick.
Dude, that Tetsuo the Iron Man.
Where am I?
Scroll down a little bit. One more. There you are. There you are.
There you go.
J-Man and Byron's child.
That's amazing.
I don't see it.
We do.
Audience, you be the judge. I didn't know we could do this. This is
Byron has the screen share power.
Oh wow.
Where is this?
Hey Byron, let's just watch Trick or Treat right now, dude, and just bootleg it.
Okay.
Let's do an audio soundtrack over the top of stuff.
All right, let's go back to this show that we call Masks, Mats, and Mayhem, where we do a thing where we talk about...
This is the Mayhem.
Wrestling. Well, of course, it is the Mayhem. That is one of the... I'd like to call it an appeal of the show, but I don't
Enduring characteristics.
Joshua would agree with me. I don't know. What do people make of this show? Anyway, I got to thank...
people should email us.
People can email us. You can DMs are an easy way to get at us. Either DMs on Instagram or Twitter are a very quick way to get at us. We check our Facebook a little more rarely, I would say. We probably should do more on Facebook because we tend to get pretty big numbers over there, even though we entirely disregard it. But
disrespect it.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
I repost everything on the Lucha groups.
We might start reposting some video over there too, but it's a little bit of a pain in the butt. I like YouTube, but the traffic seems to be a little higher on the FB these days. Anyway, yeah, send us your questions, your comments, and we might talk about them. We might address them, or we might just say fuck you and move on. So speaking of fuck yous and move on, I want to talk about Cody Rhode's AEW promo, the handshake promo, as I like to call it.
Oh, you mean Australian Suicide 2?
Yeah. Well,
no, he's Archer
too. I don't know. The Cody thing was a little weird. It was like trying to be inside, but kind of exposing the business a little bit with his whole like, I'm going off to do my other show thing. He basically said that his injury was a work.
Mm-hmm. Well, he said it was
He
said it was a mental injury, Justin. Yeah. That's different than saying
no. He basically flat out said like, "Hey, look, guys, I had to go do this cool other Hollywood TV show where we sit around and do a drive-in theater version of America's Got Talent." That's basically what he was saying.
I took it like he was, like a dog, walking away with the tail between his legs. And while he was away, he was doing this other thing. And because of because of how he left, he looked at all these other stars and he's like, who am I compared to these people? Like I was fine with it. I thought it was a really good promo, but I also thought he kind of, Cody Rhodes did a little bit and threw an extra gimmick in the middle of it. That
he threw like 3 extra gimmicks in it. First of all, he's basically trying to create an ace position for himself.
But he put over all 3 belt holders.
Right, which in return is putting over the fact that they're not going to really have an ace until it's him. And if you don't think it's him, you're stupid. That's what he was doing. Let's be honest. Come on.
Yeah, but I think he should be saying that. And I think others who like Kenny should be saying that too.
Kenny should be saying that. Kenny should also be doing that. However, Cody has been doing a whole lot more of that than Kenny, and he hasn't even been there recently.
Yeah.
Pentagon should be doing it. Let's be real if we're going to throw names around. Let's just not just throw people in the elite. Look, man, I got beef with AEW, guys. I got major beef. Okay, look, man, you're Eddie Kingston, right? You get to pick one of your homies to fucking wrestle the champion, and you fucking pick the Butcher over Pentagon? Come on. Andy Williams, was he going to play Moon River until fucking Moxley passed out? Come on. No,
see, I thought that made sense because one, from a backstage,
Byron, just remember that's Byron.
It was a good singles match that got him over. Like of course he's not going to win, but he got his spots in. But 2. Why would Eddie put someone else in to beat Moxley when he wants that title?
Well, if he wanted to put the shittiest guy in, he should have just put in the Blade.
That would have made more sense to me. I don't know. It was off. It was weird. This episode of AEW, I was just kind of like, But the Cody thing, I did like him exposing the handshake thing a little bit because he's talking about, this wrestler thing where, if you don't know, in wrestling locker rooms, everybody does shake hands all the time. It's a thing. And I learned very early on, like every locker room that I've ever gone into, shake hands with anybody who will actually shake my hand, because I'm not one of the boys, but most of them do, especially in the Lucha Underground locker room. But then also, there's different handshakes, and it's weird. And if you don't know them, you expose yourself as like not being on the inside. Like Paul London,
And
I'll just
don't
tell
do what I
you
did.
right now, Paul London is going to do a Roman grip handshake, like the whole full arm
Oh yeah, yeah.
thing. And if you stop shallow at that, he's going to humiliate you.
You know why he does that? It's because it's from the He-Man movie, and Paul London knows what's up.
So I went backstage with, I took Drago into the arena, like where he was going. And it was kind of like, I'm just going to drop you off and I'm going to leave, like kind of thing. And at that time, people kept on thinking I was a wrestler as well.
Yes, we
And, like,
still do.
Yeah. And there was a few guys there and I didn't say anything.
Oh,
Big-
no, that's
big
a big
no,
mistake.
yeah. So,
Big
but like,
mistake.
I kind of was like dropping Drago off, going, that's this Drago. And I was like, right. And I was just about to leave. And they were like, kind of like, you could see they were,
Bro,
pissed a
even
little
if
bit.
you're
and they said,
carrying
oh, I'm
bags-
so-and-so. So
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit. So I went, oh yeah, thank you to everybody. But I totally like lost my mind for a minute because I was kind of just in the middle of dropping off.
You're like,
Yeah,
And
what
then
is
the
it?
next one I
And
did,
they're
I
like,
did
what?
the handshake to everybody I saw.
Yeah,
But I
that's
was-
smart. Even if you're carrying bags, if you're inside enough to be in that department, then you need to be shaking hands. What were you going to say?
Although I slapped Joseph
You
Collins.
got it. Everyone gives me the worker handshake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone gives me the worker handshake.
Isn't
I think
it-
it's.
isn't
I
that
think
how
it's
the
because
Bucks-
I'm a giant.
The Bucks got fired from TNA because of they didn't shake Booker T's hand.
Yeah, and he was a dick about it. But you know what? I wouldn't.
No,
you know what? Now they say don't shake anyone's hand because of COVID, and so it's.
Well,
it's
and that was
old
the
now.
point of Cody's promo, which was
Right.
kind of funny. He was being a little inside and like, hey, one of our traditions is basically gone right now, but I still have respect for the people in the locker room, and it takes two. You know, and the handshake is the start of you appreciating somebody else and that you're going to physically take care of them out there. You know, and I get that, and that's why it makes a good tradition.
Do you know what the next step is, Justin? The reach around.
Docking.
Oh God, I'll tell
No,
you.
docking's 3. Docking's
Hey,
3.
Okay.
you've
Third
met
base.
Phoenix a couple times, right? Phoenix always does the fist bump, or did he do the real shake with you?
We hug.
Oh God, it's like that. My favorite is crosses though, because he'll start with the worker shake and then he'll move into almost an over the top grip on you, and then just kind of look in your eyes, do the like close side chest pull thing on people. He does that all the time.
And then he suplexes you.
That's just funny.
Yes,
He goes,
What
let's
is-
hug, bro. And he suplexes you like Taz did that one time.
Dude, you're expecting him to be mean though, but like as soon as he does that, he goes into like super friendly Kev mode. I think he's just like checking your hand to make sure that you don't have any actual strength, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, I can kill this guy."
He's old school as well, though, isn't he? You know, he's that guy who tests. If you give him a respectful squeeze as well,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, okay.
Oh, and there's a lot. I mean, there's a ton of those. I mean, most of the guys are either they're just going to do a straight up quick worker shake thing, or they're going to give you like a if they don't know you and they're sizing you up, they're going to grip you for a second and see what's going on there. And Casey just likes when I say they're going to grip you for a second.
Yeah, every once in a while they'll throw a short arm clothesline like Jake the Snake just to make sure you can handle it.
I'm trying to think who didn't. Sammy fucking Guevara did not shake my hand. That son of a bitch. He was the only guy in the Lucha Underground locker room. Like even Taya, who pretty sure at the time absolutely couldn't stand me and actually shook my hand. But fucking Sammy, and we took a photo with him too. Byron, we're standing there. We took photos with the guy, and he still didn't fucking shake our hands. He didn't shake anybody's hand, little son of a bitch. Maybe I don't like Sammy G after all. Oh, what is that? Ooh.
That's the hell is
Whoa, juicy.
that? That's got to be Byron.
Let me. Move to the left.
God, it sounds like the Atari version of a fart. God damn.
The
Listen,
Bill Buttons here.
Byron, keep it going. We gotta. No, don't stop.
Don't go for a poop break.
Fine. Look, we got to take a quick break anyway. We're going to check out what Denise Salcedo has to say about what's going on on the Lucha Central Podcast Network today over in Lucha Central. So take it away, Denise.
Hey everyone, it's Denise Salcedo here in Lucha Central with a reminder of where and when to catch all of the great network content this week. Get the full lineup and listen to all of our shows in the podcast network section of luchacentral.com. Sundays on the Lucha Central Facebook page, world-traveled shooter of the camera kind, Jerry Villagrana goes mano a mano with a fellow photographer to throw down about some of their favorite photos they have taken at Lucha Libre events. Monday, Business of the Business returns as Mass Republic President Kevin Kleinrock takes you inside how your favorite Lucha Libre merchandise gets made. On Tuesdays, Mass Mats and Mayhem takes you inside the world of Lucha Underground as they take you weekly through the series with the benefit of hindsight and the benefit of special guests from the groundbreaking series. Check out the premiere video stream every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern on the Lucha Central YouTube channel and at luchacentral.com. Then listen to it on your favorite podcast platform every Wednesday. Tuesday nights live, it's Wrestle Boss, where Fabi Chulo talks MMA and pro wrestling with special guests and listener call-ins. Visit WrestleBossLive.com Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Pacific to listen live or call in with questions or download the show on podcast platforms on Wednesdays. Wednesday nights live on Facebook, it's Spanish show La Mesa de los Márgaros, giving you both the news and the chisme from around the lucha world. Special guests and a whole lot of fun make it one of the most talked about shows in Mexico. Thursdays, it's Straight Out of the Bodega with Papo Esco and PWR promoter Gabriel Ramirez as they have guests from throughout the wrestling world pull up to give an inside look into their careers. From indie standouts to television superstars, each week brings a new name and perspective. On Friday, it's your double dose of Lucha Central Weekly podcast, one in English y el otro en español. Lucha Central Weekly is where you'll find all the top stories of the week, both inside and out of the ring from Mexico and anywhere luchadores are in action across the globe. Be sure to subscribe and follow all your favorite Lucha Central Network series on your favorite podcast platforms, either by their own series name or subscribe to the Lucha Central Podcast Network show pages to get all of the shows in one easy feed. And please consider giving a rating to help more fans find the shows that you love. For now, this is Denise Salcedo signing off from Lucha Central. Have a great week.
Thanks, Denise. We really appreciate it. Hey guys, do you know what's happening this weekend on the Lucha Central Podcast Network? Oh, it's not even on it's on the Expo Lucha site, isn't it?
Expo Lucha.
It's expolucha.com. It's the 2020 virtual Expo Lucha. And there's a bunch of cool stuff going on. I'm actually mildly impressed that Kevin Kleinrock has half a brain enough to put something together like this and be thinking outside of the box.
I don't know, dude. He didn't give me a virtual gimmick table, so I don't think he knows what he's doing at all.
Yeah, he did. He didn't show up to it.
Oh.
Maybe it was all Ruben's doing. Maybe it was all Ruben's idea. He's so
dude. I think anything good is Ruben.
It was really smart of him to give the Masks, Mats, and Mayhem the main event spot of the whole thing too.
It kind of is, in fact, one of the main event spots. And you don't have to believe us. You don't have to believe us that it's the main event spot. You could actually, if you listen to Keeping It 100, Konnan himself will tell you that it's the main event spot, probably because he's also in it with us.
Yeah, dude, he'll tell you how great Jason was, which I agree. I'm a big fan of Wing. Jason the Terrible, probably my favorite Wing wrestler.
All right, so here's the decision we have to make. We have to make the decision, do I have heat with Konnan? Am I going to put him on the wall of shame later in this episode for calling me Jason throughout our entire thing? I don't know.
Okay, I'm going to shoot a little. I'm going to shoot a little, Justin. Cross called Brian the first time he came on the show for the whole episode, so I think it's okay.
Did he?
Yes.
I don't think that happened.
Yeah,
and he wouldn't do that to me.
But Konnan asked my name several times, and I corrected him twice, and he still was calling me Jason.
You know what the problem is? You don't put Justin in the corner. You put Outlaw LA Red.
He could have called me Outlaw.
He couldn't pronounce your Outlaw LA Red name either. But also, he never upgraded you fully to Justin. He was either Jason or Jason Justin.
He did a cracking job of playing it off. He was like, "It's Jason." I think Justin. I don't know.
Considering he didn't mess my name up and he gets people work, I'm never going to put him on the wall of shame.
Byron, can we play the clip from his show? Can we play the clip from his show?
Yeah, I'll press it right now.
I'll play it right here because I think he even mentions it there.
Awesome. I'd like to hear it.
I'm going to cut Casey's line out.
Suck my dick.
Duck my sick.
Next weekend, we've got Expo Lucha Virtual, where both Konnan and DI will be participating in some form because we will be showing matches from Expo Lucha San Diego, which will include DI's appearance in that Lucha Society X Gauntlet Rumble Battle Royal, where he takes on 20 men.
Did you get my written consent to show that?
Yes, you just don't remember. Wow. And then and Konnan just took part in the Masks, Mats, and Mayhem panel. They just recorded that. Konnan, any little bit of sneak peek for anybody? How'd that go with you? Did you like
three guys I've never met in my life. One guy called Byron, who was like a reality show producer. Mm-hmm. Jason or Justin, which is it? With Justin?
Yep.
I fucked up his name during the whole fucking thing. And he was there. He's also like a reality producer, like some reality show too. Very, very cool guy. And some guy that I thought his name was Meatloaf. That should be his name, but his name is Meef Loaf. Yep. And he's got like every Phantasma mask. And
have you seen? Did he get to show you his?
No, but he had the typical nerd room that you have behind you.
Yeah,
and it had like a whole bunch of. It had like masks and robes and.
Dude, I've never seen, and even the people that have.
He had some beautiful shit back there, bro. I could tell.
Even the people that have.
And like very well kept. They had it like behind like glass or like very well nice. Yeah.
Do you remember? Do you ever see the movie Return to Oz?
No.
All right, then the reference won't make sense. But the Wicked Witch of Oz, she had all her heads in these glass cases, and I always reminds me of that. But yeah, no. By far, I can say I believe hands down. In terms of like European fans, he's got to have the greatest, mask collection and gear collection of anybody in Europe of Lucha Libre. It's an amazing collection.
Like if you're a hardcore fan of anything that Lucha Underground did, this is a good show to listen to because I went off.
Yeah, what a clip, Justin! Wow,
that was interesting that we got some mention. They talked a little bit more about some other things, but if you want to hear what Konnan has to say, you have to show up for Expo Lucha 2020 this weekend on October 10th. ExpoLucha.com. Check it out. It is a full 2 hours, and Konnan shoots.
I'm going to have to
hear what he thinks about Tony Jensen or Fogelman or Van Wagenen or DJ or Sexy Star or a lot of
Jason.
people.
Nice.
Or why he didn't last the full 4 seasons.
He talks about why he was having a breakdown, what things were pissing him off. And he also, gives some insight into Lucha Libre, a little bit of AAA, a lot of cool stuff. We did a nice long chat with him, and he's shooting the entire time. I asked him right before we started, I said, hey man, and we do this with most of our guests, like, is there anything that's absolutely off limits? Because we're not a news breaking show. I'm not here to get under people's skin. I will ask tough questions, but I'm feeling him out to see if there's something where he's really gonna be like, hey, don't ever mention so-and-so or whatever, blah, blah, blah. So at least I know to put that question at the very end, so they walk off. We've got
Don't ask him if he was ever the Energizer Bunny.
But he was just flat out like, no, dude, nothing's off limits. Ask about anything. So,
dude, he rolls, man.
There was one question that I avoided, and I'm never telling anyone what it is. And maybe if he comes back on the show, which it sounds like he might down the line, I will ask that. I promise I will ask the one question I did not ask.
Ooh, but, I bet I know what it is.
It just wasn't worth asking. There was so much other great stuff, and he was already letting it fly on so many people about so many things.
Dude, you should never ask one of our guests how big Batista's dick is. It's just not professional.
Anyway, so check that out this weekend, www.expolucha.com.
Dude, I'm going to check it out because I wasn't here for the episode, and these dicks won't give me the file so I can hear it early. So I got to
Byron, man. I can't do file transfers at all. Anyway, we do have an episode of the aforementioned Lucha Underground to discuss. And Thank goodness it's a little bit better than last week. I actually liked this one. This is season 1, episode 21. If you're following along in the playbook on Tubi TV or wherever you may have to download them from. Did you DM that guy a place where he could actually get Lucha Underground in the UK?
Well, I'm watching it on Blu-ray.
Can't you just VPN and use Tubi if you get a VPN and say you're in the United States? I'm not advocating that at all.
Do it. I am.
But there's lots of it on Daily Motion, hidden away, and YouTube sometimes.
And UK fans, if you want a link or two where you can find it, just hit the Mass Mats and Mayhem DM, and I will not publicly tell you where to find it, but I will tell you in a DM. Anyway,
someone should buy it in America and then just stick it on DVD.
Do you know why? I'm sorry. Do you know why
just
this is
go
very?
Over to Meatloaf's house.
Yeah, just go see Meef. Bring some.
Meef's address is 32 T Nottingham Road.
Jesus Christ! This is what happens when Americans make fucking Robin Hood. Jesus Christ! The White Cliffs of Dover, and then the next scene is like Scotland, and the next scene's the Midlands. Fucking idiots.
Hey, first of all, Kevin Costner, motherfucker, and is the best. And second, this was a very special episode of Lucha Underground because it was the first taping I went to.
Oh, you went to Uno Dos Tres, which was the name of this episode?
Yeah, and I liked it more then in person, I guess, because I didn't really like watching it today that much.
Really? I thought that I actually was digging it. I thought there was a lot of good things that happened. I felt like this was a little more the real pacing of an episode that I like. The amount of vignettes to ring stuff felt good. The amount of lucha libre to silliness kind of felt good also to me.
Yeah, I don't like when every wrestler that I want to win loses and then the other guy wins.
You didn't like the booking.
Yeah. No, they were start to win.
I thought the tone felt good.
Yeah, I would have. Oh wait, no, because then the best of 5 would have been over. So Aerostar had to lose. Yeah.
It was a good show because it had that variety that the last 2 episodes missed out on.
Yeah, and it also had 2 of my favorite debuts right at the top. Vignette number 1, Dario Cueto is interrupted in his office by 3 rather large and imposing black gentlemen, one of which is Big Rick, who we have seen before. Mm-hmm. The other is a masked black luchador, which is funny because I thought that when you put black guys in lucha masks, they had to pretend to be Mexican, but apparently that's not entirely the
case. But
speaking of which, that's on.
He still wasn't allowed to talk.
No, which might have been good at the time. He has also gotten a lot better at talking.
Oh, dude, he's awesome at talking now.
Oh, yeah.
But the other guy,
they did a horrible thing to him this week, though, didn't they?
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
And the third member was Criss Cross member Daddy Mac, or was it Mac Daddy?
Oh, it was the Daddy Mac baby.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't remember. I thought he was in season 2 when he debuted.
No,
I was like, holy shit. Yeah.
No, this is when they tried to give him a low-key pimp gimmick, and it just completely went away by the end of
which is good. Yeah. Like, you can tell they're still not they still don't know exactly what they're doing. Now we're kind of going into this black inner city gang versus Latino inner city gang thing.
Yeah, Killshot's supposed to be a blood here instead of an army man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not really the kill shot that we know later yet, but it was still very cool. And Willie Mack, also a great acquisition for them. And I'm glad that they kind of went this direction and thinking outside the box, because these guys end up in the grand picture of Lucha Underground, having added a lot and having really been key kind of figures in the locker room and different elements.
If you listen to some of our older episodes, this was the original concept for the crew anyway.
Yes.
They were originally going to be a bunch of black dudes called the Crenshaw Crew. And then they decided we can't do that, but then they just did it anyway.
Yeah. At least for a minute, a quick minute. But it was really awesome to see that debut. And it was nice to see the brothers get some fat stacks of cash at the end of the season.
Oh, dude, yeah. Apparently all you got to do to Dario is go like that and he gives you money. If I had known that, I always was sitting next to the temple, dude. I would have got so much money.
I think it's in the numbers. I think it's the strength in numbers. If like 3 or 4 of us had gone in the office and demanded money, I think we would have gotten it.
The middle's coupons. That's the problem. The middle's just coupons.
You didn't even get a trios title shot. What the fuck's with that, man?
So Justin couldn't disrespect the belt by holding it.
I have held the trios titles with Byron and Jim.
So we're defending champions.
3/5 of this podcast has in fact held the trios title.
That okay? First of all, that number is racist. First of all, 3/5 is a racist number. Get that shit away from my podcast.
Whoa.
And the next is I'm the real champion. Okay, because Krista Joseph personally said that I was his favorite member of the show. I think probably did.
I'm Eric Van Wagnens.
When's the last time we saw you?
Never.
That's why it's his favorite.
I think he said it because he thought I died.
He came on one show thinking it was a tribute show to you.
I do also like.
Where's Casey? He took literally.
Yeah, he took very literally. So I do like that they're introducing a trios title here. And this was kind of a shock to me when I first saw this, that they were going to do a trios title instead of tag belts. I thought it was a very good call. It helped in the overall scheme of things at Lucha Underground to set it apart from a lot of the other shows that were going on at the time. And you know, especially in the indie world where tag belts had become a big thing again, especially because of guys like the Young Bucks and whatnot. But it was cool. I was pleased to see this. So
you know what was funny about it live, because I don't think this segment ever aired on TV, is Dario came out with the belts and introduced the Trios Championship and the tournament to us live. And those belts were way too heavy for that tiny man.
Yeah, well, because they're almost as heavy as the actual Lucha Underground title. In fact, I think they might be thicker. There were some heavy duty belts.
They're
definitely thicker.
But the next one is like, it's obscenely large.
Yeah, a bit. No, I think that like the Lucha Underground one is larger but thinner. The plate on it's thinner and it doesn't have as much buildup on it. Like there's layers and depth and buildup, and the trios belts are heavy as shit.
Yeah, because the masks actually pop out in 3 dimensions, right?
Yeah, like I've held Kofi's WWE tag belt, and that one was lighter than the Lucha Underground one. For sure.
I remember holding the Raw tag belts when RVD had them, and that was like the lightest belt I've ever carried.
Yeah, I don't think WWE spends a lot of money on their. There's no such thing as aluminium. There's all sorts of vowels that you're putting.
That's how it's fucking spelled.
Long there. Okay, left.
You missing bastards.
Yeah, okay, left.
He also spells wagon with 2 G's, so let's just remember that.
Oh, Jesus.
No,
anyway,
no. It's a single
color with a U.
It's got a U in it.
Oh, Christ. Aluminum. Say aluminum. It's aluminum.
Aluminium.
Aluminum.
Alu. That's how it's spelled. Min. That's how it's spelled. Ium. Right. That's how it's spelled. Aluminium.
Min.
No.
Meef, are you wearing a Faces of Fear shirt?
That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome.
Species of Death.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Ming and the Barbarian, baby. One of the best tag teams ever. Fucking WCW NWO Revenge tag team champions, baby. Until
I got this from my loot box.
I like it.
Nice haul. Angelico versus a Johnny gimmick name, Johnny Mundo.
Yeah.
This was a good call. This, I think, was a reward for Angelico in the back, where I think Angelico showed up and with his weird accent was like, guys, can I do something this week? Like, for real, please?
Hey, guys, can I have a match?
They don't do you think they didn't understand his accent?
His accent's just a little creepy and weird, and I think it might make people have feelings of
dude, we hear him talk later, but what's really funny there's some funny stuff about that segment, so I'll wait until we get there.
Yeah, that's Son of Havoc talk, and they won't let.
Was District 9 out at this point? They might have been scared.
No, not yet.
No, I think it came out later this year, in fact, the same year.
Yeah.
Anyway, Angelico versus Mundo. There was a lot of fun stuff in this, and it was a great hybrid, I think, especially for Mundo, because Angelico does know Lucha Libre, but he always kind of turned Lucha Libre a little bit on its head anyway. And I thought that was a really good fit. And these guys just kind of went out there and did some fun stuff. Like I like the Angelico running up Johnny's chest backflip thing. That was pretty sweet. And I like the whole opening sequence. It felt like, I don't know, Jerry Lynn versus RVD or something. They did some flippy stuff. They did a little bit of math.
And then they do the little pose like respect.
Yeah.
I liked Mundo's.
Which honestly, I feel like that was popularized by that Jerry Lynn.
Oh, 100%.
Because they would do that shit, and they would do that shit hard for like 7 minutes, and then they'd be gassing. So they'd basically pose, and it would turn into an applause break.
Like, honestly, it had been happening before that. Like, Eddie and Dean Malenko's TV title match had a lot of that, but it definitely was popularized with Jerry Lynn and RVD to where wrestlers on the indies call it a Jerry Lynn RVD spot.
Yeah, it's great. Because theirs were also some of the best ones.
Can I ask you guys something to make sure I'm not crazy here? Okay, if you had to pick one of these two guys to be your favorite out of the two, you would pick Angelico, right? I'm not crazy.
Based on knowing Angelico's larger body of work, or based on what you see of him in Lucha Underground over there?
Oh, no, Lucha Underground, fuck that. No, I mean in general.
Right. Because if you're asking which Lucha Underground performer I would pick, it would be Mundo, because his overall body of work at Lucha Underground is considerably better than Angelico's.
Yeah, but in general, I mean, I just love Angelico.
Yeah, like if there was a wrestling promotion on each side of the street and Angelico was headlining one and Mundo was headlining the other, I'd probably go to the one with Angelico.
Yeah, because
you had me at Negro Navarro.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's all you need to tell me. About this.
But again, I love Johnny's parkour style with Angelico out there. Angelico's height really helped it. I like Johnny's little run up and parkour onto the grate, the side fence. And that
it's like, how are these guys not a team? And Johnny has to team with the second best South African.
You think so?
Wasn't he third best on the show?
Wait, was there another South African?
I remember you said...
No, it's a bit like the Beatles. Ringo's the fifth best Beatle.
Ringo is the second best drummer on the Beatles.
After what, Pete?
Probably all of them tied. I don't know that.
I remember yelling at PJ Black that he was the second or third best South African on the show, but I can't remember. Yeah, shit.
The Dare Wolf.
Who else? There is another one, I think.
There is another one? No, it's just those two, right? Anyway,
Vinny Massaro. Let's go for it.
Yes. Vinny Massaro, son of Colonel De Beers from the AWA.
I did also I thought that they had a good sequence towards the end with the flips and backslides and schoolboys. That was a really fun sequence.
Match. Like, I loved this shit. Again, though, babyface versus babyface. Kind of tired of seeing this shit. Don't need two of those in the same show.
Well, it's weird because at this point in time, after the whole Evil Son of Havoc thing, Angelico really isn't full babyface right now, which is kind of why I feel like it worked.
Yeah, he's too handsome to boo, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's not, and he hasn't got the full arrogant attitude either, is it? You know what I mean? It's like, you could tell they were trying to make him a heel, maybe, but like they didn't know what they're doing with him. So
we will get to see Juanito come out soon.
If you're looking at the whole everything that's transpired with Angelico, Son of Havoc, and Ivelisse up to this point, they have all done face heel turns like almost every single time, because they were playing Ivelisse like the babyface for a portion of it to get Havoc over. Then they're playing Angelico like the babyface for calling out Havoc for being a dipshit. And then they're playing Havoc as the babyface for not taking Ivelisse's shit anymore. And like they all just kept going back and forth, which is part of why it was.
For the record, I'd fuck me hard.
What are you in Retribution?
Someone needs to do a gif of him climbing a turnbuckle, put a tumbleweed blowing across.
I'm in Retribution. My name is D-Bag, and I tweet funny things.
Great at Twitter. The medium one was amazing as well.
So anyway, I like this. I don't know about the finish. I didn't like how the tide kind of turned a little fast at the end. It seems to be kind of a Lucha Underground trademark in these early episodes where a match can be clearly trending one direction and then you get a quick finish out of nowhere. I mean, I think that they were thinking that element of surprise was a good thing.
I feel like they missed a dive and cut a dive out, and that's why, because usually they use dives to transition that shit, and there wasn't one. So I feel like they cut one or something.
I don't know. I thought the pretty much a top rope power bomb into the end of the world was one of the best ways to set that move up, because it's one of those moves, like even Son of Havoc Shooting Star, where you go for the end, so you climb the turnbuckle while the opponent kind of shimmies into position. You know.
Yeah, a little fish.
Let's just say one thing though: the end of the world is one of the most terrible finishing moves of all time.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. I'd say the overdrive's the worst finishing move of all time.
It's almost like doing the worm from a turnbuckle because it ends up most of the time Johnny misses his opponent and hits him with his hand.
Yeah.
It's like a moonsaulting chop.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no one else.
Be like, oh, flashy twirly shit. Now you can win.
Yeah.
When he lands it looks amazing, but most of the time, never lands it. Like Kidman.
I think. What was the overdrive? The move where you go for the rocker dropper, but then you just kind of spin them.
Yeah.
I don't know what the rocker dropper is. What is that?
You don't know.
The rocker dropper is the move Marty Jannetty killed the jobber with and got sued for $1,000.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Did he
The Fame Master. The Fame Master from Billy Gunn.
Yeah, there's this. They should still call it rocker dropper though. And then there was a finish I think Zack Ryder did for a while, where you go up to someone who's like kneeling and you put your knee on their head or your shin, and then you do a back bump. It's kind of like you eat defeat, but worse.
Yeah, that was
Charlotte
it was
Flair's.
like a shittier version of the zigzag kind of.
Yeah.
I think that might win actually. Charlotte Flair's the thing of nature, and she just basically does a flip over you, grabs your hair, and you fall face first into the mat from about 13 inches.
Yeah.
That thing her
Bootleg buff blockbuster, but from
it's like a blockbuster.
it's like a cutter move. Yeah, it's the worst. It's so bad.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Anyway,
It's almost as bad as Chelsea Green's Unprettier.
Familiar. I forgot. Is she still wrestling or did she retire?
Chelsea Green is just Britt Baker now. There's no Chelsea Green anymore. She's like Britt's basically doing Chelsea's gimmick for the most part at this point, right?
Yeah, but she got stabbed legit with that needle in that finish of that match, and that's hardcore, dog. That's like, dude, tremendous. Look, man. Since we're talking about shitty finishers, we might as well talk about shitty finishes. But I don't think we're to that match yet. So, which one's next?
All right, let's go to the vignettes because there's a stack of vignettes.
God, none of which were good.
What?
No, there's a bathroom. Nothing in the bathroom goes wrong.
So listen, the first one was kind of a Tarantino-esque Oliver Stone.
Oh, that one was
esque Dragon Azteca, not Dragon Azteca Jr., but the original Dragon Azteca. Doing a thing with Lotus, Black Lotus, training her, getting her trained in the styles of the original
Kill Bill
tribe.
And they throw an important clue that he was there when her parents were murdered.
Yes.
And then we never hear any of this storyline ever again.
You know, it'd be good training for wanting to kill Matanza. Get a gun.
No, it would be really good training for him. Just a thesaurus.
Wow.
His head just explodes like scanners.
I think he's still on a dictionary.
Nah, you just show him a globe and he fucking freaks out.
It's around. He's never played basketball, that lad, Paul. No.
But stylistically, I liked this one. This is another one of Skip kind of just exercising his chops and going out there and doing his kind of version of Natural Born Killers or something fun.
Yeah.
In that kind of, style, that pulpy kind of new style.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It was cool. It was fun.
What was the next segment? Was that when Alberto's like,
Donnie to Alberto,
Yeah.
did you actually come here to compete? I think that's a valid question.
and he's like, Juanito, let me see your dick. I need to talk to you in the bathroom like a man.
I did like.
Do you know what docking is, Juanito?
I like that they went a little bit inside with this promo too of Alberto.
He took away my
if I was here to compete, I'm asking you, does anybody remember you because you just disappeared for like 4 years?
He took away my manager and my fluffer, Juanito.
And to ADR's credit, when he left WWE, he immediately got busy and started headlining other places. Johnny Mundo did not. Johnny Mundo really did disappear.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Back to Lucha Underground, he was still working like once every 2 months. He was not. I was thinking about that the other day. It's amazing.
I thought he was super rusty when he came into Lucha Underground.
I remember going to Wrestle Reunion and him just coming to see some of his friends, and he hadn't wrestled at all in like 2 years at that point. And he didn't have a table there.
He had that ring at his house or whatever, right? His LA house, he had that ring. So he was like actually going, and his friends were coming over. And he was still fucking around. And he was in the gym all the time. So he didn't have any ring rust. I thought that he would, but
he came back better than he was when he left. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. And the other thing is, he's a super fit guy as well. So, like, the fitness levels would have been there and easier for him to. Whereas some guys that actually take months off, don't they?
I mean, does anybody know why he really disappeared? I mean, like, I know he was trying to make a go of a movie career and do some other things.
Yeah, he just wanted to act, dude.
I think he was burnt out from it as well because he was in WWE and he wasn't going places, and he was like, "I'm done with it. I'm tired of this."
I gotta assume he got good things with his money because he really. Certainly didn't do enough in Hollywood at that point in time. I mean, he's done more in Hollywood since Lucha Underground than he did before it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I remember I think took a mortgage out on his house or something like that to pay for Boone the Bounty Hunter. Which is admirable.
I don't know if he made that money back or not, but I like that movie. It's fun.
I got free in a loot box.
But
that means he got paid for it, though. Still,
the thing is, he's full time with WWE, so he doesn't. He's paid. He doesn't need to worry about money anymore.
He's fine. He's good, which is good because he's a nice dude. He's a good person. It's good to see him like financially secure and not having to worry about shit. But now, I hate face Johnny Mundo. I'm just saying,
we hated it the entire time.
Yeah.
And this was definitely a face.
This is two guys that are natural fucking heels. Mundo just because he can act like a heel and he's a handsome dude and he can play cocky. Del Rio because he's a real fucking asshole. And
literally a real asshole.
Every Del Rio, like, what was it like to work with Del Rio story involves I had to talk him out of fighting someone. He's kind of a hothead.
But you know what? I still got mad respect for him slapping the shit out of that guy in WWE for being racist because that was a good move. So I rescind the dickhead.
I got to tell you guys something that is a very key and important element of Lucha Underground that I don't know if you guys are aware of.
I'm aware.
But everyone is sexy and everyone is a star.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You know what? Props to Dario for this segment saying, with such a talented partner, maybe you'll get your big break.
What else was great? How Sexy Star was talking in the first few episodes, and there was a full-on conversation, and she did the Prince Puma.
Yeah. For those who don't speak fluent Lucha Underground, let me translate this. The translation of this is, Krista Joseph really likes you, and you're still getting a push, but we don't know how to protect you in matches so you don't look like shit. So we're going to try something else this week, and then next week we're going to try something different again. But this week, let's see if Pentagon and Superfly can actually make you look like something.
But don't worry, because eventually we're going to hire cheerleader Melissa to carry you to a great match. Oh, my God. Okay, so this... fuck this segment because it led to a lot of shit that I didn't like, but it also led to us looking like the world's biggest assholes in the audience, and I wear that like a badge of honor.
Hey, look, I won't lie. I cheered Sexy Star a whole lot. I liked what they were trying to do.
I'm talking about specifically when we were chanting for Pentagon to break her arm when they were having their match.
Oh,
yeah.
It's good times. A lot of people
should have fucking done it for him.
So we haven't gotten to that match yet though. So let's talk about Drago versus Aerostar number 4 for a unique opportunity.
Awesome clinic of a match. One that doesn't really need a whole lot of play-by-play description other than just fucking watch it.
Well, the flipping senton rope walk was amazing.
Here's the thing about this, though, to me, that stylistically they made a very good call, which was to have Drago bring back in more of his Japanese strong style kind of stuff. I mean, he still did Lucha Libre. It wasn't not there, but it was purposely a lot more in the ring this time, less dives from Drago. And it was a good look to keep this feud fresh. And it also shows that these guys are more dynamic than just going out and doing the same match. These are the right two guys to do a best of 5.
And his his pins and his submission holds were more technical.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
he won with the mouse trap, which Orange Cassidy does now. It wasn't the tail of the dragon yet.
That was a cool run.
I like the tail of the dragon better, though.
Yeah.
We'll have to say this under our breaths, though, because a video came up of Ricky Marvin doing it with, who was it? Someone really young.
It was in All Japan?
Taiji
Yeah.
Ishimori.
Yeah, Taiji.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, because Ishimori invented that move.
Did he? Ah, okay.
I think, yeah.
But I mean, that's not out of character for Drago to be pulling stuff from Japan anyway, though. I mean, I think that's completely appropriate in stylistic character, especially in a match like this.
Yeah, Japanese letters on his dragon head for a short while.
Yeah.
Hey,
as we know, he's obsessed with Japanese culture and stuff.
Casey, is this thing that Stryker said during this match true that Aerostar is credited as being the last creation of Antonio Pena?
Yeah, it's 100% true.
Yeah.
He was created by him. It was Pena and Aerostar's dad that kind of his dad did some designs and showed them to Pena, and then they kind of, because he had the idea for the character, but his dad drew out some of the outfit, and then they kind of worked together. But yeah, he was the last one because Pena died not that long after that.
And he wasn't actually named. It was several superstars, wrestlers, luchadors, who actually came up with the character's name.
Because they're like...
His trainer was Abismo Negro, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was Abismo Negro's student. He and some Grand Apache too. And
he got the fire can thing from Abismo Negro, right?
Yeah, but he didn't do that until like way later. Like he didn't start with that shit.
Well, and I'm not the one that would let him do it at Lucha Underground, because if you've ever done that, first of all, it only works with real aerosol spray, like original Aquanet. Some of that new stuff doesn't do it the right way, but if you hold it too long, the fire can suck back into the can and can fucking explode in your hand.
He did do it in Lucha Underground.
Well, the rule is for that is you got to throw them. When they do that, you throw it.
Yeah, he did in Lucha Underground. It was funny because whoever
he caught the fucking ring on fire
had to stomp out some little fires on the ring.
This time, I think Abismo's still alive, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh,
no, not in
2015, 2016. No. When they filmed it, he was still alive, wasn't he?
No.
Was he? Did he die before Lucha Underground got filmed?
Yeah, he died way before. He died in like 2012, I think. That's a guess, by the way. I thought
it was 2015 because he wrestled in London with Phantasma, I think. I'm not sure.
Are you sure it wasn't Black Abyss stealing his gimmick? He died in 2009.
It could have been. Sorry, yeah, it could have been. Sorry.
That was wow. That's a while back.
There was a fake Abismo Negro.
Yes.
Black Abyss.
Oh well, on the day, they actually fucking got someone to fill in, didn't they?
Yeah, Black Abyss.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had seen it coming. He had a lot of personal issues, and they kind of saw it coming. Yeah.
That's what I heard too.
I have a lot of food in my mouth.
But yeah,
it's okay, Justin. I'm used to making you sound like that.
That's from your pubes.
So the guys looked a little intense after this match.
Yeah.
What's funny is
Cup final.
Fucking Vampiro's like that stare when the camera is on Aerostar that you can't see his eyes whatsoever. It's just like, don't stare. You can't see his fucking eyes. You can just see his mouth. It made no sense.
Yeah. You think Aerostar at this point in time already knows the outcome of this best of 5?
And that's why he's angry.
Just put it out there.
Consider what happens with the opportunity. Yeah.
I love this match. This is the stuff I come to Lucha Underground for. Mm-hmm. You know, this is what I was always hoping for. And it doesn't have to be every match, but when you get an episode that's got one of these in it, I tend to be pretty happy with the episode. So we'll chalk that up to a win for a while.
No, this episode's a 0 out of 5.
Oh, we'll get to that. We're getting there. So vignette number 3, Dario is making one more trios team out of Angelico, Ivelisse, and Sol.
Big editing fuck up in the scene. Okay, so you're watching them all, he says, you're going to be a team, and they're all arguing and yelling at him. And so you can hear Ivelisse and you can hear Angelico, and Son of Havoc's just because they didn't dub in the fake voice for him. And it's hilarious. Go back and watch it. I promise.
I bet it'd be too distracting if he was arguing.
But then at the end, he's like, for the record, was she a great fat person?
Puts the lotion on its skin, or else it gets even less again. All right.
Just lower even less into the pit.
Yeah.
God.
Weird.
Byron would like that.
Weird.
That's his fetish.
What's up?
Your fetish is girls being lowered into pits, dude. You got half a chub watching Indiana Jones, and that was a dude.
Wow.
What?
He liked it when Luke Skywalker went in with a rancor.
You call him Dr. Jones.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Did
Justin seriously just do a short round?
I just did.
I stopped.
You need to edit that out of the show.
No, we had a good run, everyone. I'm going to close up shop and
short round is legacy racism that is thoroughly allowed. The fact that movie even still exists makes it okay. All right.
Was it worse in Indiana Jones or in Goonies? That's the question.
Oh, definitely Indiana Jones. It was
100% Indiana Jones.
No, they were making him play it up on purpose.
And his whole gimmick was he couldn't drive.
Right. It was really bad. It was really bad. Anyway, Big Rick, Killshot, and the Mac versus Sexy Star, Superfly, and Pentagon Jr. at the time.
I gotta say, I love 4 of the 6 people in this match, and I thought it was going to be good.
Look, big pops for Willie Mack. For those of you who don't know, a lot of the audience is kind of a PWG crowd. This was definitely the good audience, as Casey said. Casey, you were there for this, right?
Yeah, dude, and I've been a fan of Willie Mack since like 2007, probably at this point.
Yeah, and the crowd knew. I mean, and they didn't know that he was just the Mac because he was, I think, announced by that way. But everyone was just like, "Oh shit, it's Willie Mack!" And
there's Willie Chance,
Willie Chance the whole time. And like the Lucha Underground crowd, to describe it to people, it's this weird, interesting mix. So you have like some PWG fans and some of the PCW fans, and then you have like actual just kids from the East Side kids, and from Boyle Heights and East Los and Echo Park and kind of those neighborhoods, it's amazing. And then you also have like suits and shills that are they're from the studios or heard about.
You got hardcore lucha people that go to shows in Mexico and shit.
Yeah, and then you got some real lucha libre. So you've got this weird kind of fun crowd, but the crowd was totally into this. Big pops for Willie Mack. I loved the Penta kind of healing out his team at first, because who wouldn't heal out that team?
Exactly.
Hey, Sexy Star, you're not going to help us in this match. And hey, other guy, didn't you already lose that fucking mask? Why are you here?
Yeah.
And he's wearing the T-shirt now, isn't he? As well.
Yeah.
The T-shirt look, which is so much better.
He is wearing his own merch, which was smart. One of the
unavailable in the car park.
You could actually, I think 2 weeks later, you start seeing people actually wearing that shirt, including maybe Casey.
Yeah. Shit. Yeah, we started going as a group and got the shirts like right away. So because goddamn, dude, fuck that Pentagon loss, first of all.
Well, don't go to the end yet, because like the Pentagon Mac portion of this match at the very beginning was straight up fire. That shit was great, and the crowd was loving, and the crowd was actually more behind Willie Mack at first.
Yeah.
And then when Penta did the glove off chop thing, and this I think might be the first time he really does it this way. We've seen him do hush the crowd once and do the chop, but doing the whole thing, pulling the glove off, shushing the crowd, lighting them up, and then getting the Ultra chants going on and doing one more and coming back around, like it lit the crowd on fire.
Yeah, it kind of sucks that crowbar Big Rick started stiffing him at the end like that, though. That fucking clothesline he hit on the outside, where he just clubbed him in the head as hard as he could. Yeah,
in the back of the head, right?
Yeah, or the side kind of.
Yeah.
I also thought Swerve and Superfly was a good combination, believe it or not, or Kill Shot, whatever.
You see the potential in Swerve.
Dude, and Superfly, which we never got to see in fucking Lucha Underground, really, but he was the shit in AAA, dude. His match with Super Colo was awesome.
Yeah, I also I think that right off the bat, and this was one of the reasons why I was a big fan of him, it was like Killshot was bringing this kind of style, this kind of roughneck style from the indies, but also he was flowing really well with the Lucha Libre. And it was like, damn, this guy's going to be a good fit here. Willie Mack's going to be a good fit here. Like, they can actually get into this style, even though it's not their normal thing. And I don't know where Swerve was getting that from, because I was already watching a lot of Swerve stuff at the time, and it was nothing like what he was doing with Killshot.
I forgot how much he does that little like swerve in the other direction thing that I hate. That Darby Allin does constantly.
Oh, the run and come back thing.
Yeah, I don't like that.
He was one of the ones. Well, you know who else does it a ton is AR Fox.
Right, but AR Fox rules more than Killshot. I love Killshot now. I did not at the time.
AR Fox is hilarious though, because you talk about all these leg slapping guys. AR Fox is the most leg slappy guy of all time. Swerve is way up there too. But for some reason with those guys, it doesn't bother me nearly as much. Like AR Fox, when he does a front kick, he just flat out claps his hands above his head.
Yeah, on camera.
On camera, blatantly. And it doesn't even matter, because like 3 moves later, he's going to do some ridiculous shit that you love.
Yeah, he's going to get Death Valley drivered on the apron no matter what. So, you know.
Yeah, you're never going to say he's not a tough guy. I mean, he's tough, and he's snug with everything he does, too. It's just that him and Swerve both are super leg slappy guys. But
yeah, Swerve can be pretty snug, too. Yeah, Swerve can be pretty snug when he wants to be. Let's talk to Cross about that.
Yeah. Let's not. I don't even want to know how their locker room combos are going down these days. I got to assume by now that they've kind of ironed that out.
I think Cross told us they're cool now. I think we brought it up on the show with him on here once.
Yeah, because we asked him, because I was like, I think he was pissed at not like pissed, but like salty that DeJoseph had never given him a chance to get a receipt in for that. And
for those of you that don't know, go back to listen to one of our Cross episodes, but he had a complete footprint on his face from a dark match he had with Killshot. Footprint.
He was doing the double stomp where the opponent sits up and you double stomp their head, but your feet go on the side.
Yeah.
Except he wasn't that coordinated with all the stuff he was trying to do at the time.
So dead center, right?
The problem is every time he does the move differently. Like you see the kill stomp or whatever coup de grace thing he was calling it at this point in time. And you see it in this match, and it's the really like kind of glance over the guy, roll away from it version. You know, it's not even like the full Finn Balor.
It's almost like a meteor.
Yeah.
She does do it like Finn Balor, because Finn Balor will do it to someone who's perpendicular and just will go right into the stomach.
Which makes it worse. Yeah. Like I do know there was some issues with the tag team finish, though, because one of the other matches in this tournament, they reshot the finish because it got fucked up when Mac and Killshot won. Yeah, I don't think it was this one, though. I don't think it was this one, even though that suplex Mac hit from the top rope was a little fucked up.
Yeah, a little bit. It's a little odd. So we get to the end of this thing, and Penta and has kind of his moments, and he did the weird little tiger mask headstand thing for a half a second
to get kicked in the face outside of the ring, and he probably really got kicked in the face because Big Rick thinks wrestling's real.
Well, you don't have to deal with him for much longer.
Do you think he's super confused about why he's still alive?
Yeah,
he's like, I read this comic book and I'm dead. Am I a ghost now?
Yeah, and then
I saw my skull in that locker.
This thing finishes with Superfly, big surprise, doing the job to basically Killshot. Which, then we have Sexy going heel. What is this? Sexy stops Penta from doing the arm break thing on Superfly.
On his own teammate.
But here's how it makes perfect sense.
Oh, yeah.
Sexy Star saves Superfly's ass from Pentagon. So obviously, she should put her mask on the line against Superfly next week. Yeah, that makes perfect sense, right?
Hey, if I'm going to put my mask on the line, I'm going to put it up against a guy that already lost it.
Yeah, true. That's to fight for.
It was funny. I was there with my friend Keith, and that match got announced, and he's like, "Hey, I'm telling this story now because I'm not going to be here next week. I'm going to be out of town." So, me and my friend Keith were at the taping. Some of you guys met him. Byron, I'm pretty sure you met him. I don't know if Justin did or not.
Yeah, I totally remember him.
Yeah, we're sitting there, and he's like, "So who do you have in this mask match?" And I'm like, "Dude, Superfly's losing." He's like, "How do you know?" I'm like, "Because he fucking lost his mask in Mexico already." And then all the people around me heard that and started laughing because we were kind of sitting where the celebrity section is, and that's not on camera.
It was a stupid idea.
Yeah, and a lot of them didn't know wrestling, so they heard me say that, and they all started laughing. I'm like, "Oh shit, I shouldn't have said that so loud, probably," but whatever.
Well, you didn't book it. It's not your fault.
So that match is next week. Konnan had a ton to say about that also. Good. First questions I hit him with. So definitely tune into Expo Lucha this weekend and hear what Konnan has to say about the Sexy Star match. And maybe we'll run some of it next week in the show too. So
there was a funny thing on the bump this week. They had Escobar on, and let's be honest, the people who do that show, questionable knowledge of wrestling. They were like, "Oh, you made the hard decision, almost going against Lucha Libre, and you took your mask off." And he's like, he just sat there and was like, "Well, really, me wearing my mask again was actually spitting in the face of Lucha Libre."
That was really the more offensive part.
He went, "I'd actually already lost my mask in Mexico," so he's like, it wasn't really a thing, but it was. And then he explained, like I explained to you guys before, and he's explained before, was the fact that he put it back on to kind of bring the name and the attention to him.
Which I like too.
Move
some merch. And I think it set up Legado del Fantasma.
Yeah.
I do want to talk about that and a couple other WWE things. Let's take another quick break and we'll come back and we'll get into it with Meatloaf over there about what they're doing with Lucha Libre over there at WWE.
Lucha-masks.com, in partnership with Mask Republic, give you personal protective masks to keep you Lucha strong in the fight versus COVID-19. With world-class luchadors Blue Demon Jr., the Lucha Brothers, LA Park, Ultimo Dragon, Cain Velasquez, Konnan, and so much more. Head to lucha-masks.com and you too can become a masked warrior. Lucha-masks.com, powered by Pro Wrestling Revolution.
And that's
right. Hi.
So, Meef, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about Lucha Libre in WWE. Like, look, I like black wrestlers, and let's be honest.
All right.
Raw right now is the most African American wrestling promotion of all time.
I don't know, bro.
It's like
literally. I used to watch the Urban Wrestling Federation, so you got to tell me that.
No, UWF is one thing, which is on Tubi now, by the way.
It is, yeah.
But honestly, even if you watch that, half the dudes in there are like Puerto Rican and white, even in there.
That's true.
But literally, like, of major wrestling promotions, Raw roster right now, I believe, is almost 50% black, which is amazing. There are several luchadors and Mexican performers in WWE. What is the status of these fucking guys outside of Legado del Fantasma? Let's not even talk about them right now.
So,
what's going on Raw and what's going on SmackDown with Crick and Lucha?
You're asking questions about two shows that I don't actually watch, so that's always a good start.
You know what's going on.
You know what's up.
You know that nothing's happening. Let's just abandon this segment and talk about
what's up with Grand Metalik.
Nothing. They've taken him out of the picture.
Dude, he doesn't even get to be in the video game when the other two people do. That's
awful.
Clearly, I don't know if he's exiting or what his contract situation
I think he was supposed to be up this year, but I think he actually ended up signing an extension.
I thought so too. Because why are they him even more now?
Was it him and Kalisto actually said goodbye pretty much?
Yeah.
Online, and then they're still there, but then Rey Mysterio Jr.'s contract was up and he stayed on for an extra 3 months.
Well, there's reasons for that, but.
Yeah.
Which I kind of into. But I just
house party. There was talk of Kalisto, I think, or Lindsay Dorada leaving that group.
Well, they teamed up with the Ultimate Bro this week, so that was.
Oh god, because there was a picture of Lindsay with his mask off in a suit, and it was kind of like, oh, is he going to be going and joining? I
just don't know what they need to do. I almost feel like. Maybe if Legado del Fantasma comes in and every Mexican performer joins up with him and they make it a real LWO type faction, they all stand a chance. But clearly what they're doing with Phantasma right now with Santos Escobar or Escobar what is it? Which way does it go?
Santos
Escobar. Anyway, whatever they're doing with him is fucking fire. They're letting him wear the suits now. Super dope. They're letting him talk. And oh my God, Andrade cut a promo on Raw this week. Wow. I can't even believe they let that air. It was horrible.
They sunk his career by taking his manager away.
Asuka's English promos are better.
Yeah.
It was horrifying. I can't.
Are you ready for Oscar?
I'm ready for Oscar. They put him in the middle of the ring and just left him out there just hung him out to dry. It was painful. Like no amount
of the flares done to upset them.
Oh, I don't know, man. That was bad. But anyway, your boy Phantasma had a banner week, having a little bit of fun with Swerve. What's up with your boy?
Got to feel sorry for Swerve, haven't you? You know, putting him against that in a promo off.
Yeah.
But Swerve looked about 47 as well.
Yeah.
I was just answering like, well, I'm going to beat you. And Phantasma was like, I'm not going to talk about any of the shit you're talking about. I'm going to cut a fucking promo.
Yeah. and do it really, really well and sound more eloquent than you do. And Swerve has the gift of gab too. Like he does a podcast. His promo skills are way, way better than what they were, in the Lucha Underground match we just watched.
And he can act too.
He got fucking smoked by Santos Escobar. I mean, that was amazing to me, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Well, he was trying to cut a wrestling promo. Yeah. He was trying to do a wrestling thing, and Santos Escobar was just, he was just telling him that he's the boss and that's how it is. And he was on a whole nother level. It was great.
And then every time Swerve made a point, every time he made a point, he was just like, that's your point, but this is, I'm going to cut something that's more like a movie.
Yeah.
And it's just totally like smoked, like you said, smoked it. And it's just like, you forgot what Swerve was really talking about.
Look, there's only one good wrestling promo in the past month. And it was
the one Ricochet did on Raw this week.
No. I'm gonna quote here. I'm gonna be literal with you guys right now. Literal. Kenta kicked the shit out of me.
Okay.
Oopsie daisy.
He kicked me so hard that I sharded. Do you know what sharded means? That was the best promo in professional wrestling.
Juice is one of the best promos going today.
And you know what?
You're sure, but you're absolutely sure it wasn't Ricochet doing the "we're gonna see y'all real soon" thing. Hurt Business on Raw.
Why do we need to pay attention to Ricochet?
I don't know. It was great that they even let him talk, and like everybody who was standing there was just, even Apollo was kind of looking over at him like, "You just did what?" Next week, like, "We're gonna see y'all real soon." It sounded so country, and it's like all the coolest black dudes in WWE are in this promo, and you jumped in with that. He's staying on the wall of shame forever, guys. Yes. It's never going to end.
Yeah. Next week at the Kentucky Metrodome, we're gonna see you. We're gonna fight you. Just $15 a ticket.
He sounded like Hardcore Holly, and Hardcore Holly was using a fake accent. Like,
first of all, how long has he been outside of Paducah?
Like long enough to not sound like
boy out of Paducah.
Second of all, this is something that we talked about off camera in the past week. How the Hurt Business is resembling the Four Horsemen more than almost any other faction that's called themselves the New Four Horsemen.
Yeah,
it's like. They're all badass. They're all class, and and they all talk a good game and back it up. And they'll hurt people.
And I really actually love to put Keith Lee in Hurt Business. I actually love to see him.
He needs to be.
But could you imagine like little Ricochet going up to like Arn Anderson and saying that to him? They break his arm on camera.
Nah. How about what do you guys think? About
Tully Blanchard.
Okay, we get Curtis Axel to join them, and they become the Kurt Business.
I like that. His whole career got ruined because McGillicuddy.
He's still under contract, apparently.
Is he?
Wow, really?
All right.
I think he's good. I feel bad for him because he's staying forever.
Yeah, I feel bad for him because he's not handsome enough to be Mr. Perfect Jr.
All right. I want to do this thing. Wall of Fame. Are we adding anybody? Here's
Santos Escobar, king of the promo.
Here's who we got on there right now. We got Sonny Kiss for graduating college. Denise Salcedo for loving donuts. Tony Khan, Karrion Kross, Roman Reigns, who I'm going to talk about in a minute too. Casey is still on there. Robert Stonebrand's still on there. Kevin Nash, the Super Shredder, is now on.
Kevin Nash.
Look, I would put Santos Escobar on there for cutting a good promo, except it's your job.
Yeah.
This like the Chris Rock thing. You pose to know how to read.
It's his job, but only 3% of wrestlers on WWE can currently do it, though.
I have a Hall of Shame, Justin. I have a Hall of Shame.
Well, currently if there's no nominations for Wall of Fame, I'll move on.
I'll nominate myself for the Wall of Fame.
For what?
Why?
We just needed someone this week.
Nah, sure. Leave it as is. All right, Wall of Shame. David Lagana's still on there, and it's kind of a shame too because and we were talking to Konnan a little bit about NWA Power, and it was such a good thing that they were doing over there. They really had their own thing going on. They kind of had this old school kind of vibe to it, not like what's his fuck's trying to do with WoW, not that kind of old school vibe, but like a better, almost Mid-South kind of style thing that they were doing. Anyway. But Lagana was a big part of that, and without him there, I don't know what they're going to do. But go back and keep that 100 with Nick Aldis and listen to their interview with him. And
that was a great interview.
Hey, look! I'm available to book. I'm not going to rape anyone and be a piece of shit to anyone. I'm here to book. Fuck Dave Lagana. Don't say that like the show's gonna fall apart without him because we don't need him. Okay.
Well, I mean the show doesn't exist between COVID and him. They're in limbo, which is why you see Thunder Rosa.
But they do say they are gonna come back.
Yeah. And soon. I think they have some plans, but
Aldis had some really great stuff that stood out to me that he was talking about wrestlers branding themselves because immediately you interview him, you go, hey, I like the look with the 3-piece suit, and he's like, like. Not everyone needs to do the suit, but you need to have your look. You need to be a professional. People are losing sight of the professional side of professional wrestling. And he brings up like the Attitude Era matches where it's like, Val Venus versus someone else, the segment 6 minutes, but the intros are 3 because the match doesn't matter. They're trying to brand themselves.
They're to see stars, and people have to make themselves into stars, and they have to be given the time to be stars.
He made his own action figure deal, and they sold out, and they were expensive as fuck. They were like $50 a piece. So congrats to him,
fans, man. That my buddy Gabe Smith that was talking shit about me, talking shit about Thunder Rosa. He's a huge Nick Aldis fan and an NWA Power fan, and
he's great
because of Aldis. He's a big part of that brand.
No, but I mean, the women's division in Power was tremendous, and it sucks that they're linked to such a shitbag.
Yeah.
Because he's the one booking the federation. He was doing horrible things to women, allegedly. You know what I mean?
And it sucks, too, for even people like Thunder Rosa, who, the guy was doing good things for their career without being touchy-feely. And he's helped out so many people's careers. He wrote good television, and then he's like a shitbag on top of it. It's like, it's all the more reason, just don't be a shitbag, because he made a great contribution and people respected him. And then you go and do shitbaggy things. And then now your whole legacy is fucking ruined. And people who were connected to you, who are good people, who were doing good work for you, now they're embarrassed about their work.
Honestly, he had no legacy and shouldn't have been hired in the first place. He was doing this shit in WWE too. So
I agree.
To cover ourselves.
And also, it just sucks though that these people in NWA Power that went out there and worked hard for this guy and made a great show are now tied to his shit legacy.
Yeah. Also, it's important to note that all the stuff that gets ruined or lost because of the speaking out thing and Lagana getting fired, it's still his fault.
Oh, 100%. Right. 100%. And none of those people should feel bad or not take pride in whatever thing he booked for you that you went out there and performed and made great. Like everybody, Aldis, Thunder Rosa, all those guys over there, I have a couple of close friends that work over there too that I grew up with. And I think it's just great. Anyway, so David Lagana, first on the list. He's still on the list for the Wall of Shame.
We promise not to talk about the rest of these that long. Sorry.
Yeah, I won't. Jeffrey Briggs and JT Wilcoxon, the guys who tried to file the trademark for Lucha Underground Wrestling. Velveteen Dream. Impact for not getting verifications. And once again, That's the stupidest thing ever. Brit Wrestling, Pedos, Predos, and Pervs. Tessa
Need
Blanchard.
to expand that one now because they're all starting to come back onto Instagram, and all their friends who are currently employed at companies are liking their tweets. So, and then you've got nobody, nameless wrestlers, I don't fucking have a clue who they are defending them because they're their best friends. Don't be mean to my friend because he likes supporting a pedophile or a sexual abuser. No, I'm going to abuse him. You wouldn't say anything to his face. Flash Morgan Webster, he couldn't cut fucking toast, daft pig. I'd fucking eat him for breakfast. I'd have to look at him, he'd fucking shit himself, daft cunt.
I love
yes,
fired up. And this is why we're always leaving Brit Wrestling, Pedos, Predos, and Pervs on the list forever. Just so we can hear me do that every now and again.
Thank you for that, Meef.
I love drama in Great Britain. I have no idea what is actually going on.
Because you know who I'm adding to this list. Do you know who I'm adding?
Hold on, let me get
Travis Banks basically has come back and everybody started liking his list. And Jordan Devlin had the fucking gall to call out Escobar. He needs to fucking stay away. The next time he fucking decides to, I'll say allegedly, but I've seen pictures of a woman's bruised body.
Well, I mean, he has to, if he's doing that as part of his job, if he's coming back to his job.
No, fuck him. Don't get hit by a fucking bus.
I will make no judgment, but just because of Meeflo's vehement level of anger, I will keep all of that on the list. UFC 4 still on the list for sure. Avenger, maybe not so much. I'm taking Predator Hunting Grounds off the list.
Can we play it now? Is it playable?
It's playable. It works. I actually kind of like the 4v4 thing. I think
I need to play this with you.
They've done enough just to edge themselves off.
Should I go plug it in right now? Because
you know what else you can do is you can do 2 versus 2 or 1 versus 1. It doesn't have to be 4 versus 2.
Can we do 2 versus 1? Can we do me and Justin versus
Byron? It's kind of fun though in the 4 versus 4 mode. Whoever kind of wins the first half gets to have a friendly predator on their team.
Yeah, but both teams can eventually get the predator. Apparently, you can get 2 predators fighting each other.
What? Oh yes.
So yeah, it's there's a bar, there's like a status bar at the top, and I haven't figured out all the nuances of it, but it's a good enough addition to the game where it's not just, I didn't feel like I was Call of Dutying it or some other just random shooter, and it's actually kind of fun to go up against other fire team people that actually have skills more than the NPCs. And you get to see other people's play styles, and I actually think it makes my play style better already. So I'm taking Predator off the list.
Your play style?
Yeah, my play. Ricochet, as we mentioned, still on the list.
Are we going to get our own Twitch feed? MMM75.
Vince will take it.
By the way, I have a hot take on that.
And Spotfest Radio for dissing lucha-math.com and Cult Icon, the infamous Eric Mutter, still on the list.
For being Eric Mutter.
Yeah, dude, he fucking DM'd me to tell me Demolition lost the tag titles. Fuck. No, he didn't, because he's blocked out of solidarity for Brother Byron.
Byron, did you have some additions for the Wall of Shame? What are they? What do we got?
Joey Ryan?
But CMLL Ryan is in CMML, whatever. No, CMLL, do they have a roster still?
Yeah.
Well, it all fucking
like
COVID.
I mean, if one can have a roster that's in hospital beds, then yes, they have a roster.
Yeah, every match is a hospital gimmick stretcher match.
They're all stretcher match. They start on the stretcher
one off the stretcher wins. Yeah,
they roll in on the
stretcher match. That you guys are fucked up, man.
Whoever goes out healthy wins.
Yeah.
They all come in on stretchers, and whoever leaves healthy wins.
A reverse stretcher battle royal is what you're suggesting.
Yeah, a bottle of bleach on a pole match, is it?
Oh,
you get the bleach first.
They should have a Rose Garden match. Is that what it's the White House lawn is?
Oh, Jesus!
What do you do
Christ.
with your Rosebud? I don't want to know about that, man.
Look,
but,
I beg your pardon.
What were you going to say?
I'm doing that.
So the Twitch thing, by the way, it came out WWE is going to take over the Twitch accounts of their talent, and you see some of them in revenue, and you see some of them talk about it, and I saw, and Rob Viper mentioned this, like, you know, you're getting paid well and you're a WWE employee 24/7, you know, and then it gets into the, you know, independent contractor stuff. But I agree with that, because before Twitch, you couldn't get away with Twitch type stuff on your own beforehand. And they were getting away with it, you know? And that's just how it is. You're not an independent contractor. You're not.
But legally, they say they are, and that's where the problem lies.
But the thing is, you're not getting paid like one. You're not getting treated like one.
Well, but here's the thing. It's not, even as an independent, like myself, I work as a freelance independent all the time on every job I have. But at the same time, any intellectual property I come up with while I'm working for that show is really subject to them. Like I can't even develop stuff too much when I'm working on another show, because there are certain things in those contracts that could potentially, give them claim to it. If any part of my idea branched out of what I was doing for them, they have a claim to it. Even as a
man, I've done internships that have made me sign shit like that.
Yeah, and it's just like they put you on TV, they put you on action figures, they make you
worldwide,
globally known, like personality, and then you go on Twitch and you do your thing, and you may feel that you made yourself, you developed your fan base on Twitch because you were there doing it, whereas as opposed to the shows, you're not getting the airtime or you're not getting over, but you make a good amount of money off Twitch. They wouldn't be there if they didn't see you on TV first.
Well, that's the thing. And the thing is, your persona and your public persona especially is the intellectual property of a bigger company.
Yeah.
And it'd be different if that bigger company was not providing you any opportunities like that. But they're not saying that you can't have the opportunity to do that. They're just saying, we're going to take a piece of it now. We
not on the dime.
Yeah, WWE owns you. It's always been the way. You talk about Bret Hart or other stars wanting to do TV shows, and they have to get permission, and it's a big deal. It's like, well, this is you playing video games. Like how is
All right, this gives me an idea, you guys. Why don't we have that hashtag shows Jim Velasco sign one of those contracts at MMM show?
Ooh,
that Super Shredder autograph parts.
Do we own part of the rights to that Kevin Nash interview that he did? That would be
we own parts of that signed Super Shredder figure.
We should get the figure, and we should get about 20% of their traffic.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I think
they've got a lot of traffic. I would love 20% of their traffic. Yeah.
By the way, can we book Marty the Moth on the show next week and just have him set us up with Twitch and PlayStation? And then we play Predator.
Dude, you know what? I wonder if Marty the Moth even knows who I am, because you guys only schedule him on weeks I'm not here.
Oh, so we should have him on next week.
Yeah, let's have him on.
You do realize as well, we should probably not do a show next week because Expo Lucha is going to be on.
Well, no, but our show
would be Tuesday.
We're 2 days later.
No, next Saturday when we record is when Expo Lucha is on.
Because Casey won't be there to force us to do it on Saturday.
We can record Monday morning.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. We'll figure it out. You'll see something from us next week for sure.
We'll book Marty the Moth for 2 hours and
play Predator with him.
Whatever time, however soon that we get it set up, that we'll fill the rest of the time playing Predator.
Dude, is that why he's never on when I'm on? Because he knows I'll kill him in Predator?
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
So, Casey, did you have somebody you wanted to add to the Wall of Shame? Is there anything
Joey Ryan for attempting to sue his victims?
He is suing. He's not attempting.
Wow. Penis Gimmick Guy, whose name I won't mention.
He makes 20 grand a week.
Is attempting to compensate himself for the 20 grand a week he says he's losing. But here's the thing, man. COVID, lawsuits. Like, look, if he wants to sue him for defamation or for whatever he wants to sue him for, he's allowed. Fine. Go ahead and sue him. Yeah. I think that's a huge mistake on his part, because I think once he goes to court, I think it's just going to spread around his shit more. He's
going to lose, and he's going to have to pay their court costs and his, which is going to be
hilarious. At this point, honestly, he's got nothing to lose, so why not? I mean,
the thing is all that'll happen is they'll just play a YouTube video of him admitting that he did it.
Oh, plenty of people saved that video, even though he made it private. Yeah.
And another thing is the people he's suing, they don't have that money. I don't know if some of them are even working still in the industry.
And he's suing for millions.
Yeah. So like at the end of the day,
that's not the way it works anyway.
He's not gonna get a dime in the best case scenario. And
the best case scenario for him is that he goes into that court, and by having this lawsuit, airs out some of the things that I believe that he's a little bit delusional about. But if he goes in there, best case scenario for him he proves some of his point, and a court of law agrees with him, or he gets enough out there that agrees with him that he gets a portion of his career back. If he can publicly find some way to regain some face, and at this point in time, I believe that the only way he can do that is through a court of law. Nobody can touch him in the business. He's toxic in the business until there is some outside entity that basically has vouched for his level of wrongdoing. So honestly, at this point in time, if he wants a career in wrestling, it's the only option. He has to do this. There's no other way that anyone will ever hire the guy again, that anyone will ever work for him again, that his promotions will go anywhere. They can't. He's toxic. He is, the floor is lava. The floor is Joey Ryan.
I look at it differently. I think that I agree that there's a path for him to come back that involves that process. But I feel like
he's found Jesus. So
the lawsuit. No, I don't think it's. I mean, maybe he is kind of doing that gimmick too. But
I think he eschewed the gimmick.
Lawsuits. I think the lawsuits just burn his bridge. Like there's no. He has to get goodwill back, and the lawsuits ruined that chance.
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't
because he's gone after people who literally can't afford it.
But I don't
double
know.
down the hatred.
I don't know.
He's got to do. It doesn't matter if they can afford it or not. If they lied on him, and I don't necessarily believe that they did, but if they lied on him, it is absolutely the right thing to do, because if they lied on him and sullied his name, his business is legit toast right now.
Mm-hmm.
He has to prove that. He has to prove that. And here's the thing. I think he believes it. I think he is the only one that actually believes himself. And thusly, if that is the case, if I'm that guy and I actually believe that, it is exactly what you do. You have to file that lawsuit. You have to approach it that way. You have to say, these people are calling me a liar and it's cost me my entire existence and I can't stand for that.
But we're not sociopaths, so we don't necessarily go there in our own minds.
Correct.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that for him and his delusional mind, I watched that whole video. I took notes on it. I watched the whole thing start to finish. And it wasn't an admission of guilt or disproving any of it. It did, however, prove to me that I think he is delusional about his residual self-image of what he actually is and what he actually is to other people. I don't think that guy has a fucking clue of what his presence is like in those situations.
I think it's pretty telling.
Quackenbush is a character reference.
Yeah, I think it's pretty telling that even old school PWG guys that basically came up with him are all saying "fuck that guy."
Yeah,
like that's pretty telling.
Like Ryan Nemeth?
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't talking about him, but his was great. The little drawing of the guy peeing on Joey Ryan was amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway. Look, for now, it's still fuck that guy. I think that the lawsuit, it is what it is. We'll see how far he goes with it. But yes, Penis Gimmick Guy is, in fact, on the wall of shame. I will never mention his name, but he's on there as Penis Gimmick Guy.
You know what would be really interesting is if this provokes an actual criminal charges, because I can see the people who spoke up not wanting to, like they did their thing. Like Konnan even said when he and DI were talking about it, he's like, this guy lost his whole career. You know, that's punishment. That's ample punishment. Like this guy can't make a living now.
Look, if they're smart, they'll countersue and they'll get the whole thing wrapped into one big case. And then that way, whoever walks away from that thing is a real winner. It's either going to be him for proving that they were completely full of crap, or it's going to be them for proving that he really is super duper rapey.
I mean, they might come after him, not even countersuing, but with like a civil case or something really.
Yeah, no, that's what it would be.
Yeah,
that house he was proud of is going to disappear.
Yeah, it's the 15 women are going to have to split a 1-bedroom in Reseda.
Yeah, well, we'll see. He made some money. Joey's not broke yet, hence why he's able to do things like.
I did find that funny when someone said, "Oh, how does this guy make 20 grand a week?" I was like, "You do." Like I can come to 20 grand a week pretty much quickly on Joe Ryan, because he was, as much as everybody now tries to say that they weren't a fan, he was huge in t-shirt and gimmick
yeah,
sales.
his merch was always in like the top tier of pro wrestling.
Yeah, and his booking fees were super duper high. I mean, you were paying him like real top guy money.
If he's working 3 nights a weekend.
And he had promotions and other stuff going on. Like he was making the real money, guys.
He can just turn around and say, "Well, I'm like an average Joe. I work 5 days out of 7 a week.
You know,
and if I'm making $3,000 a night, that's $15,000 just in booking fees."
I'll put it to you this way: Shane Douglas still makes that kind of money.
Yeah,
right.
And has he like he wrestled what? What was the last time you heard him wrestling?
Recently, he wrestled. No, he wrestled Kurt Hawkins like this month.
Yeah, I mean, but like, you know, once you're an established name like that and you can come in and headline an indie show, you're going to take half of what that entire show is making, and then everybody else can split the rest. You're going to be that guy on the card. Anyway, let's take another quick break. We got to come back, and I got one last thing I want to talk about.
If you're listening to this and you haven't visited luchacentral.com, it's time to do it. LuchaCentral.com is the online home for Lucha Libre, where you can get all of the top news in English and in Spanish. Find the best curated video content and original content not seen anywhere else. Find when Lucha Libre events would be happening in your area. Find photo galleries from top photographers covering Lucha Libre around the world. From weekly polls to annual awards. Seen and read by top executives in all of the major Lucha Libre promotions across the globe. And on top of that, it's free. LuchaCentral.com, your centralized place for all things Lucha Libre.
And we're back. I always want to say it like that. You know what my favorite word is?
Blow me up, Tom.
Byron, you should know what my favorite word is.
Penis?
I can't say it because of my skin.
Frenulum?
No, not that one. My other.
No, that's Willie Mack's favorite word.
Oh man, is it ever? Is it ever? Wow.
Felching. Is it felching?
No, it's not. My favorite word is
snowball.
No.
Hold on.
2 words.
All right, everyone. I'm muting. Meef, you're not breathing. Wait.
Are you ready for me to say it? Can I do it now?
No, I should mute myself to be safe.
No, you're fine. Acapulco.
Penis.
No, it's not Acapulco penis. Anyway, when I was growing up and we would watch Jeopardy, when they would give away the consolation prize, they would always be, and a consolation prize to lovely, sunny Acapulco.
Did you ever go to the restaurant, like over on Reseda?
Oh, yeah, that one that's called Acapulco.
Is that the Coasters? The Coasters did the song? Or was that
They did a song called Acapulco.
Down in Acapulco.
I just love that word.
Have you ever seen Acapulco Heat?
Acapulco.
Have you ever been to Acapulco?
What?
It's actually the worst place. It's actually a really bad place for me to go.
Byron, not only have I been to Acapulco, but I've had salmon while I was there.
Yeah. The L was there for a reason.
You never do because you can't say those things.
Salmon.
You can't have them or go. No, it's not salmon.
Why?
Because that's not the word. It's salmon.
But why'd they put the L in the middle of it?
Because it's fucking English and it's a terrible language.
Byron, is your favorite dinosaur a pterodactyl?
A pterodactyl? Yeah, no.
I like my pterodactyls.
He's
technically not a dinosaur anyway. But
I did like how I've leveled up in Witcher 3 where I can set down traps, and when the pterodactyls try to swoop at me, the traps will shoot them down.
Byron, how do you say the main character's name in that game?
Who?
In The Witcher. How do you say the main character's name?
Oh man, I forgot. But I know it's like Garrett.
Oh my god.
Garrett Bischoff.
Geralt.
Aces and eights.
Garrett Bischoff.
Geralt. It's Geralt.
Geralt.
With a T.
Speaking of aces and eights, your favorite girl was on AEW, Justin.
Yeah, Velvet Sky.
Yeah.
The pigeons.
No, the other Velvet. Velvet
Red
Cake.
Velvet.
Oh, okay. Red Velvet. I know it had velvet in there.
You know what? That's what it is. Female wrestlers named Velvet. I like red cake.
Does anybody like red velvet cake?
Maybe you should make your way down to Florida.
I think Justin's a little into Velveteen Dream as well. Because he forgot to name him on the wall of shame, god damn it.
I did say
he was in the...
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Dream was on there.
Okay.
And what the hell is going on over in New Japan? You guys watch that crap.
Okay, so
I'm up. The last show that I saw was Naito and Goto. I just watched it earlier.
Last one I saw was like the one after ZSJ.
Yeah, that's it.
In the front office. I want to know the front office shit.
Okay, so
Mage is
Harold. Okay, first of all, Byron can't pronounce shit, as we've established.
Yeah,
his name's Harold. His name's Harold May. His name's Harold May, and they just decided in the middle of G1, let's get rid of this motherfucker. And they're not sure why. They think maybe it's just because he was getting paid way too much, and they need someone off the books right now because of COVID and not as much money coming in and stuff like that.
They have a new guy.
They have already got a new
They
guy.
have the New Japan US guy.
Yeah, and
But he was already on the payroll. So.
He was working there already getting paid. And all the American wrestlers apparently hate Harold May because you know what? This is the guy that put the end to the swearing and the middle fingers and all the fun stuff that we loved about New Japan. But also he's the guy that said, fuck them when AEW repeatedly, allegedly tried to do meetings where they could work together with New Japan. And they kept getting canceled and they kept getting killed. And they fired everyone off of the New Year's Dash except for Kenny Omega. And then they kicked him off the show too. And they were just shitbagging these guys for starting their own company, even though anyone with half a brain knew what the fuck they were doing.
And honestly, dude, if they had the working arrangement that Ring of Honor had with New Japan, that would be so much better in AEW and would help both promotions so much. They would be the shit if they would combine forces in that fashion. Like when Ring of Honor did it, it was okay. It helped a lot.
It helped the junior division.
Mostly.
Right. The Bandido for me.
But that was the AEW women's division with DDT.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, it did make a difference. It helped it be cool, but also helped it stand out and be unique.
They still never brought over Maki Ito. You don't respect Army.
You don't respect Army. But yeah, I mean, hopefully they do.
I think there's something to it, man. And we'll see what direction they head now. But I know that Harold dude was really trying to break into foreign territories and markets and other things that really are kind of also off the table during COVID. So this whole big global strategy is probably out the window right now.
I hope with him gone that this means that we get to see some more swearing. We get to see some more middle fingers. That we get to see someone other than Jay White swearing because his swearing doesn't sound right because he's from New Zealand.
Yeah, I love it. I love his accent. No, but I think I totally get that he was trying to
calm down.
He was trying to like break into the United States, and so he didn't want to water down his brand there.
Right.
You know, and also you have guys like Mox and Jericho who are working both companies, and Mox can't do New Japan shows in the US because
and apparently Harold May nixed Jericho coming back over for some more shows that was supposed to happen recently.
That doesn't sound like
he can't recently. He can't go over now.
I mean, he just have to quarantine for 2 weeks.
Yeah, but he has to do AEW every Wednesday.
Yeah,
true.
So when they had him lose the belt, they could have had him take some time off instead of just coming back the next week.
No, they're paying him. They're going to get him.
If they were open, if he was more open, I'm sure AEW would be happy to work something out because it helps AEW if he goes over. It doesn't.
Allegedly, Miro might do something still, like his contract's still open to it.
Yeah, I would. I'm sure they are, but AEW gets first dibs on their Wednesdays,
right?
You know, and like Jericho, they talked about it during the COVID tournament they were doing. Like he didn't have an angle, but they needed him on the show still, so they had him on the announce booth. Mm-hmm. Like they want him on the show every week, and I get it.
I get it. I mean, he's a valuable member, and
he's the demo god, Justin. The demo god.
I like the MJF stuff that he's been doing right now too. I like comedy segments when they're done by guys who can actually handle them, not when they put comedy gimmicks on guys that they don't know what to do.
I like how Jericho goes in and scoops everyone's heat that's getting popular in the illusion of helping them get to the next level.
He's the best worker of all time. I think, Justin, I see through your ploy there because you like that. You like what they're doing because MJF brought everyone a jacket, which, by the way, I'm sure they spent good money on. And they never showed them, which horrible. Reshoot the whole thing. They messed it up. Anyway, Jack for everyone except for the guy who didn't shake our hands.
Hey, are we getting tracksuits?
Negatory. I tried, but the distributor won't. It's a long story.
Justin, I know a guy.
Are we gonna get
I got Hoovied on the tracksuits. Anyway, I gotta talk. I know this is gonna kill you, Casey, but I gotta talk about WWE Clash of Champions. Absolutely, by far their best pay-per-view in probably 2 or 3 years. You didn't watch the Roman Reigns thing, Miflo?
No, I tried, and after me and Paul were quite awake, and after I think it was one of the tag matches, I just fell asleep. I need to watch the Roman thing.
You skip ahead. I skipped half the show to get there.
I don't know.
I was watching it live.
I watched it live.
I just 2 a.m.
I didn't have a problem with anything that was happening, and I was shocked.
It's who I am.
I just was like, why am I? My biggest question for WWE about Clash of Champions is, why am I liking this? Because whatever the answer is to that question is something they need to figure out immediately and do it always.
I have an idea as to the answer.
It's Roman Reigns finally being a dickhead, which is his natural character.
But he's not just being a dickhead. He's doing it completely the right way, Meef. He's doing this thing where it's like, I'm the shit in my family, this tribal chief thing. He's got Heyman there to help him cut promos, even though I'm not a huge fan of Heyman's promo style right now.
Excuse me, sir.
Right. He's so over the top. But
this is our night on pay-per-view to say, fuck you, you're wrong.
I think
Heyman
is trying to find something new to do, and he's done the same thing for the last decade.
Because tonight, knock wood, they're going to pay $29.95 to see you on pay-per-view.
Perfect.
But I feel like they're having a lot of organic character work, organic storytelling. Even like Sami Zayn.
That was so good. I watched that.
That was great.
I got 2 words for you, Byron. Matt freaking Hardy.
when Jeff went through the ladder.
Oh, come on. When he handcuffed Jeff through his big, giant, stupid holes in his ears. That was. If you seen this thing, you would have even liked that spot.
The only thing that would have made it better.
Puts a handcuff through his ears and then cuffs him to the ladder through his giant, stupid ear holes.
The only thing that would have been better was if he laid him on the ladder and then did both ears to the ladder. So he had the ladder on his back.
I'm just glad he didn't know about Jeff's Prince Albert, because it would have been a different kind of match.
Save it for the rematch, and then they modified it for television. But and they actually had me thinking at one point in time that maybe Jeff would even climb up the ladder with a ladder attached to his ear.
Yeah, he did.
It was just like, but that's just. If you can make me that excited and wanting to see moments, it felt almost, that match just felt like old ECW.
I feel like you need to watch
in a match.
Justin needs to watch the deathmatch shows.
I do.
With the screwdriver.
Yeah, dude. Like if you
on Tubi now too, by the way.
If you're watching somebody get a skewer through their face, that little ear ladders are nothing. That's baby games.
But at the same time, it was the right baby games for WWE. It's certainly more interesting than anything they've ever done in a ladder match since Christian and Edge were actually a good thing. Like, they haven't done much in WWE for a long time.
Edge is an active wrestler now.
Edge is fun.
Well, not at the moment.
Christian and Edge were a good thing.
And Christian was on this pay-per-view.
Yes. Anyway, I loved it. And the Roman Reigns thing, Meatloaf, go and watch it. Go watch that pay-per-view moment.
I watched this in the big thing, but
they're going to kill it. They're already killing it. They're extending it to
Roman Reigns is the tribal chief.
That's exactly what happened this week on SmackDown. But I loved it. I'll tell you what else I surprisingly am liking right now.
My Paul Heyman impression.
Well, Roman needs to stop Paul Heyman from talking so much. And then
Excuse me, sir. Paulie Dangerously, the leader of the Dangerous Alliance.
Okay, then first of all, someone needs to bring back the Dangerous Alliance.
Where the fuck is my phone?
Second of all, speaking of, excuse me, who thinks that that Vicky stable should be called Wrestling Vixens? That's a bad idea. Vickies. Like, who did they not have the internet 10 years ago?
Have you ever Byron, you need to search on the internet for Sticky Vicky, okay?
Oh,
do I really need to?
Nope.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. It's a European legend. European legend. That's all you need to know.
Should I?
You know what the other thing I liked on the pay-per-view was? Because I don't want to get too far away from that. I liked Zelina Vega and Asuka. And just last week, I was talking shit about Zelina Vega, how she's not ready. Look, you could tell it was a super rehearsed match. They ran that thing 5 times during the week, which is why they made them do it again this week. Because
so you're saying she was ready for Asuka?
She was ready to be beaten by Asuka, yeah. But
the grouch.
The match was very smooth, very well rehearsed, and it went exactly as it was expected. And maybe after that Mickie James match, my expectations were so lowered about Zelina Vega that it just looked even better to me. But I didn't hate it. I watched that whole match. I thought it was going to be a snooze fest.
I saw the funniest tweet that this guy was saying, my wife just asked me why my eyes get so big whenever Mickie James kicks high.
Because he likes the roast beef sandwiches.
Dude. Speaking of Arby's, Justin, I could really use some Arby's right now. I don't know about you. Do you have them in your area?
Yes, there is one not too far from here that I shall go to as soon as we are finished doing this.
Mine's 45 minutes away, half hour away, and it kind of sucks.
The ones in Boston the roast beef sandwiches in Boston are so good.
What does it have to do with Mickie James? You missed the point.
Can we talk about
they used
how do Americans bastardize roast beef sandwiches?
Okay, first of all, fuck you, Meef, because this is an American legend. They put cheese on it, cheese with a Z.
Yes.
Cheese with a Z.
No, in Boston you get like a 3-way. You get barbecue sauce, you get cheese and mayo on it.
Wait, how did we go from Mickie James to a 3-way?
I mean, wait. You put barbecue sauce on a fucking beef sandwich.
Hinges are off.
Yes, first of all, you do. And then second, you get the horsey sauce. And
horsey sauce is the real
horseradish.
Shit.
No, not horseradish. No. I don't even know if it actually even has horseradish in it. It's just
it has horse in it.
No, cheval is the word we use, Byron. Okay, that's cheval meat. I think you'll find.
What are you
still eating in Yorkshire, where I'm from?
You know what was a little weird about the Zelina Vega match with Asuka?
Like, no. We're skipping past barbecue sauce going on a beef sandwich.
Yeah. It's delicious. Oh, dude. Okay, so first thing, you're coming here. We're going to tell you we're getting your Mexican food, and we're going to fucking lie and take you to Arby's, and you're going to get the same diarrhea.
Is it warm beef?
Somebody from England, the one that is commenting food right now? This is not a thing.
It's got barbecue because you got to get the beef and cheddar. You don't just get the
different.
Beef
this is a warm sandwich.
Running eggs every day. That's what
I'm thinking
good food. Your people don't know good food.
I thought you were cutting sliced actual cold meat beef. Cold beef.
No, you people don't know good food.
I didn't say you people. I said your people don't.
I'm saying it. MMM show has found the one you people that we could talk to.
The worst thing is Byron. You saying to me, the person who cooks Mexican and Indian food.
Yeah, your food actually does look amazing. I'm not gonna lie. I'm all about whatever Meef's cooking. I've never actually had his cooking, but it's
cinnamon rolls.
Listen, I gotta talk about this. What were you gonna say about Zelina, Byron?
I was gonna say, so the match in its own bubble looked good. It made sense, but then you think about Asuka having these big matches with other people, and you're like, why is she selling so much for this 4 foot tall?
Right. When she should be out there with Charlotte Flair doing fucking.
No,
Alina does
like everyone sold for
because Konnan does, but Zelina does like one kick and Asuka's like, I'm going to sell for 2 minutes.
It's been established in WWE recently that little people have superpowers, like Hornswoggle would fuck everyone up. You know,
Agreed.
Zelina was doing that.
Finn Balor.
There's one pose where someone's like, "That's good," and like she does the shoulders hunched and like the face, right, and like so she just does that all the time. Whatever. Dominic's better than her.
Anyway, she did a great job playing AJ Lee in that other thing. I do want to talk about Dominic. Dominic's match with Murphy. It wasn't bad, but you could tell that there was a lack of a ring general between the two in the ring. Neither of them really knew how to pace the match outright. It wasn't bad, though. And Dominic is a lot better than I thought he was. Like he's
50% of the wrestlers.
First of all, I think it's terrible that they had Dominic wrestle Krista Joseph's dog Murphy.
I love
that dog.
Kristen Joseph's dog is way better than that guy.
I thought Murphy can work. Yeah.
No, it was weird to see. But I will say this also, that I think Aaliyah might be a star also. I don't know what her purpose in wrestling would be in the long run, but she's a better actor than anyone else in Ray's family.
Right. She's
selling the whole segment. She's keeping the storyline moving. I mean, it's like Vince doing his Stephanie McMahon bit from '98 or whatever all over again. But
the question isn't how many times
Ruler of the Scrolls
consummated the marriage, Dad.
I thought that was a Sid promo.
No.
Here's a question I have to that. As much as Ray wanted to bring his son in to wrestling and
did Vince twist his arm to bring Aaliyah in? Yes.
Do you think, but Ray being the veteran that he is, do you think he would allow his daughter in the business?
Oh, he's got to know not to do that, right?
She's there. She has cut promos and had mic time 2 weeks in a row now. That is officially in the business.
Okay, but
Byron, you got to remember Flair.
If Del Rio comes back into the company, she has to suck out.
I mean, Del Rio's a bad one too. Like he made Paige like butt stuff. I mean, he's bad people.
I'm not going to talk about that.
Byron's seen the video, so
we all know what Byron is going to say.
I'm sorry. I'm so going to hell. I apologize.
But yeah, no, the internet crowd has already started getting quite creepy towards her.
I think Paige is great, and she was one of the ones who was defending her Twitch channel. I feel like she has more ground to stand on because she's not an active competitor. But anyway, I think Paige is great. I don't think anything bad about her.
Paige has got all these good deals for herself that they're probably fucking up with that. Like she's been a model for Hot Topic for the last year or two. Like there's big posters of her in the windows and shit.
She is the poster child for Hot Topic before she should ever involved with them.
She should just she has her own
Atticus Black back in the day. Do you remember them, Byron? You probably had some of that stuff, didn't you?
What?
You probably had a few Atticus Black shirts.
I don't know what that is, but I used to get Manic Panic from there and dye my hair.
Yeah, Byron used to have red hair.
I'll make no comment.
Wow, Jesus fucking Christ!
No, that was cool back in the day.
No, you'd have looked like that. You'd have looked like that guy, the Joker killer. That guy went to the fucking theater.
He looked like fucking Joey Fatone.
Joey Fat One?
No. Well, in college, I wanted some 1 year.
Did you want to be in a ska punk band, Byron?
I wanted to be in a boy band version of a ska punk band. Like, who's that band that you like? Green Day. Green
Day.
Dude, let's be real. Mike from Green Day is way too ugly to ever be in a boy band. Come on.
Okay.
Wow, you know the bassist's name. Wow.
Dude, there's only 3 guys. It's not hard.
Yeah, there's 4.
And he's really the only one.
What?
There's an unofficial 4th member.
Is that
Jason White?
Byron on the xylophone.
Anyway, my entire point was the fact that I don't know how WWE did it, but I am actually interested in seeing what they do with Dominic Mysterio and this storyline now. This is better than when Ray was losing his eye a few weeks back. I don't know how well Murphy plays into this whole thing because he can't really go all that well. He's not. Dominic's better. And that's
Murphy's good.
Murphy's great.
Murphy's good with another ring general in there, but Dominic, they're going to have to find somebody else to bring into this thing. Yeah, but they can't build this whole segment out of Dominic and Murphy is what I'm saying. No,
they shouldn't. And if you're Murphy and you got in great shape to, claw your way up to 205 and blah, 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 all the way up to Raw. And now you're this, super tough guy doing all of Kenny Omega's moves.
Right.
And then you have to sell for 120-pound dude?
Dude, okay.
Dominic's not 120 pounds. He's 100.
He's 135.
Refresh my memory. Isn't Murphy really winning in personal life and none of that really matters?
No, he's not with Alexa Bliss anymore.
Yeah, he's kind of losing at life.
No, I like Alexa Bliss actually got some heat on Twitter because of idiots. It wasn't anything, but she was wishing him well or saying, that's awesome. And in a segment, he was hitting on Aaliyah, and people are like, "Oh, you're encouraging, pedo stuff. She's like, I'm encouraging my ex-boyfriend for doing well on TV in his job.
But wait, is Aaliyah 18 though? I don't know.
19.
Okay, that's not pedophilia.
But
he's 34. It's more a morality issue.
But he's a bad guy, to Justin's point from 2 weeks ago.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, but my whole point is WWE needs to keep it going. I'm actually watching. I like the Alexa Bliss Fiend Bray Wyatt thing that they're doing too. Like they're actually doing stuff on their programming now that I find interesting.
To watch it.
I'm digging Hurt Business. I thought MVP had another fire promo this week. NXT I thought was the worst WWE show this week. I watched all three for a change, and NXT was the worst one, which was really.
I watched Escobar, and that was it.
All I watched was old ECW, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
I want to do that too. After I finished watching Basket Case, which
I saw Shotzi. Shotzi's doing the 31 Days of Horror movies too. Casey, by the way. I
did 365 days of horror movies, dog. You gotta fucking work to impress me.
Shotzi is what you were talking about earlier from the Nick Aldis thing. Shotzi has a presence every single time now. She can be booked purely on the fact that she's a star.
How about you're a fucking?
It doesn't matter. The match itself doesn't matter, and that opened my eyes to it. You don't need to have. I
don't care if she wins or loses. I'm just there to see Shotzi. I love it.
You don't need to always have even a squash match. Like it's some AEW doesn't do all that well. It's the intro. Like Triple H will make an intro, or a ring entrance for all of his stars.
Yeah, I was suggesting that Triple H. Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking about Triple H doing an entrance for himself and not actually losing a match. He doesn't lose matches.
Triple H doesn't do entrances for all of his stars. He just has so many for himself that he can just afford to give them away.
Yeah. But
you don't do too well in your entrance.
But
whatever you do, don't do too well with the entrance because Finn Balor will get upset.
But it goes back to like when all you guys have read William Regal's book, and he talks about how
pissing on a stewardess once. Yeah, that was in there.
He talks about how that's such an important role in becoming a star. Also, like the first two steps out of the curtains in front of the crowd. That's where you have to hook them into buying into you. And that's where like he got the facial expression and he got the long robe and everything. And he got the whole thing. It's like you step out and
if you don't get the reaction, then you're sunk. Yeah. Because then you're fighting your way back the whole time. It makes sense.
Yeah.
And he also said to keep your dick in your pants when you're on an airplane because it causes all kinds of problems when you don't.
Here's the deal. You're listening to this show. You've gotten all the way to the end. You should be commended and rewarded. So we know your name is not Josh Pillow. You also should.
Fuck you, Josh.
In just a few short days, head on over to expolucha.com for this year's 2020 virtual Expo Lucha. It's going to be lit. There's going to be all sorts of fun matches, Lucha Libre stuff, our interview with Konnan. You cannot miss it. So check that out. Come back here next Tuesday, same time, wherever it is, wherever you are. It's 2 p.m. on the West Coast, 5 p.m. on the East Coast on Tuesdays. Come check us out. Come back. And until next time, stay calm and stay in the mix.